News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You are listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint and robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The 5th Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be this Saturday. The debate will take place in Manchester, New Hampshire at St. Anselm College. This will be the third debate with Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Hi, this is Alex Jones on KMAS News Radio. And I'm basically here exposing this. I told you about militarization of police 20 years ago. I told you about the plan for gun confiscation. I told you about the PDDs. Now we're far down the rat hole, and they're now want to do 10-state giant drills with plain clothes, doing, quote, suspicious things, and practicing taking over local government, practicing taking out civilians and snatch and grabs. And of course it has dual applications for overseas. But the main mission is a PSYOP.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
A surprise announcement from Badgerland. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports.
It is so emotional right now, and I'm trying to hold this together.
Wisconsin basketball coach Bo Ryan said before the season that this would be his last go-round with the Badgers. But no one expected Coach Bo to make the announcement right after Wisconsin's 64-49 win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi last night, just 7 games into the season.
We talked about different ways of doing this, and time-wise, I know how things get out and how people talk. So this way, we finish out the last game of the semester.
So Bo Ryan leaves the program having done more in 14 years than any other coach in the previous 100. Assistant Greg Gard takes over as interim coach. To the NBA, the Cavaliers slapped the Celtics 89-77 in Boston. LeBron James very happy to have Iman Shumpert back in the lineup.
He just fits our DNA so well. Probably the best hands in the NBA, along with Kawhi Leonard. Defensively, he just plays just very, very good basketball.
James scored 24 points, just like old times in Los Angeles.
Lakers break. Nance has got it. There's a foul and a bucket by Kobe, a three-pointer.
On KSPN, Kobe Bryant led the way with 22 points in the Lakers' rare laugher over the Bucks 113-95, and Sacramento topped the Rockets 107-97. Baseball outfielder Jason Hayward, no longer a free agent, making it official after signing with the Cubs. And now that he's on the north side, there's just one goal.
It'd be a beautiful thing to win a World Series, for one. I'm a baseball player, and that's what I strive to do every year. And to do it in this city, it's a no-brainer that, it would be making history.
Hayward agreed to an 8-year, $184 million deal. NFL news, Peyton Manning is expected to be back on the practice field today for the Broncos for the first time in a month. Quarterback Brock Osweiler makes the start at Pittsburgh. Patriots running back LeGarrette Blount and Ravens defensive end Chris Canty done for the season with injuries. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, I'm right on top of the queue. FM 103.3. Streaming audio and video this morning, KMAS.com, 10 past 6. On this Wednesday hump day, I'm Dale Hubbard, and here's another day, and Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame. All right, other sports notes. The Seattle Seahawks placed rookie running back Thomas Rawls on injured reserve yesterday, re-signed Bryce Brown to bolster a depleted running back group. Rawls had been starting in place of Marshawn Lynch, and he broke his ankle, not Marshawn, Okay, Thomas Rawls, and suffered ligament damage, which they're more concerned about that than the broken ankle. Seahawks' big win last Sunday over Baltimore. He finishes the season, Rawls does, with 830 yards rushing. It would have been a slam dunk to get to 1,000 yards this year for him. Unfortunate. Have to move on. A lot of people are on the Seahawk bandwagon talking about, oh, look out, here they come. It's Seattle, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City are the three hot teams here heading into the final quarter of the season. And, really, legitimately, all three teams are playing exceptionally well as opposed to how they started the season. Mm-hmm. And so it is not how you start this race. It's how you finish it. It is a marathon and not a sprint. Okay, enough of that. Here, let's get local. Tonight on KMAS.com, live video coverage of Shelton boys basketball.
Oh, man, it's going to be so much fun.
Taking on the Mount Tahoma, those guys. And the live stream begins just before 7. Join Jeff Slakey and myself for exciting play-by-play action online, won't you?
Mount Tahoma
Totems?
I mean, I was going to say Whitecaps because of the mountain would have some snow on it.
Well, that's a good guess.
The Mount Tahoma.
Mm-hmm. They are the fighting.
What was the name of that guy who wouldn't leave? He was the name of a president, Truman's?
Yeah, Truman. Mount Tahoma Truman.
I don't know. We'll find out tonight.
We will,
we'll
all together. There's another reason to tune in, just to find out what Mount Tahoma's mascot is. And then,
yes.
Meanwhile, the girls go to Mount Tahoma tonight. We won't be able to cover that one. We can't be everywhere at once. Come on. Friday night, though, we'll give just props to the girls as they host CK, Central Kitsap. Better look that one up, too. And then it's the Saturday night home opener for your Ole Town Artesians, if you're a soccer fan. If you're an indoor soccer fan, well, you're a special group, aren't you?
Yes.
And this is at the Pavilion at Evergreen State College. Tickets at oletownfc.com. Wear warm clothes and be listening for Guy Smiley on the public address system. There it is.
Listening and watching the tomfoolery.
It's tomfoolery.
Maybe that should be my name.
Is he playing forward or goalkeeper?
He's the goalkeeper.
Okay, all right. Sweet. There it is. At sports, how about snow?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, man, our 10-day now goes until Christmas.
Okay, all right, lay it on
let's
us.
get underway here. 38 now, cloudy skies. Fog throughout the day, but potential for about a half inch of rain during the overnight. Tomorrow, 1 3/4 inches.
That's amazing.
Quarter inch on Friday.
It's been so nice the last few days.
Yeah, 3/4 of an inch on Saturday. Lots of rain for the next 10 days. Now, let's get to Christmas, shall we? Christmas Eve. Oh, wait a second. Christmas Eve, during the morning, from 2 or so till noon, potential for snow. Then that comes back from 9 p. into Christmas.
Get out of here.
We could see in the lowlands. Sanderson Field, 200
where's my pipe?
200 feet or so. Could see some snow on Christmas.
Carol had a picture up on her computer yesterday of a full moon.
Yes, and it's going to be a full moon,
on Christmas. This is going to be a magic time.
Of course, if it's full moon and you want to see it, then there's not going to be any precip.
Yeah, usually there's not much precip during a full moon phase.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is around here. We've got it all figured out.
White Christmas.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line by email or Facebook. Now, from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, on a Wednesday morning, and it looks like Dick Taylor and John Dobson are our guests today for Port of Call.
Yes, it does look like that.
Later in the morning.
Okay. So they bid farewell to Tom Waltner at the meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
And we here at KMAS wish Tom nothing but the very, very best in any future endeavors, should he choose. And they had a little salute to Tommy.
At least one endeavor, right?
Yeah, he should. Yeah,
just doing something.
So, those folks there in Ording, they're a hardy breed.
Yes,
Jerry and I know many people that hail from Ording, and they got a sticky situation going on over there.
Tell me more.
Officials of Ording say that a city council member and former mayor.
So same person?
I believe so.
Okay.
We'll find out as we move along through the story here. Used offensive and deplorable language in an email that prompted a complaint from the city's only black police officer. This is out of the News Tribune, and the reports say that Councilman Guy Colorasi,
I think you had it right.
Okay. Sent a message to police department staff and fellow council members on November 30th. The email included a link to a video in which controversial YouTube personality Tommy T.J. Sotomayor used racially charged language and encourages white officers to avoid policing black communities.
One, how many black communities are in Ording?
None.
Just wondering.
Crazy. All right. I'm just telling you,
Spokane, this is awful. I don't know how this even works. Spokane officials issuing apologies. Homeowners, so there was a windstorm back in November.
Oh, yeah, big windstorm.
Like a week. So much so that the governor went over there and was like, what is up with your grid? We're off the grid. And literally they were. So during this windstorm, it just wrecked Spokane and homes and whatever. So they started getting letters, the homeowners, saying, hey, you better clean up all those mess there or you're going to receive fines.
Yeah, like $1,500 fines.
Yeah, one homeowner said she received a notification 3 days after the storm.
You don't even have
that says clean up the damage.
I haven't even been time to get out of my house yet.
And if she did not comply, the house may be deemed unsafe.
So they're issuing apologies, but they never said why they sent these notifications out in the first place. I mean, where's a reality check here?
So my first thought is that, well, no, I guess that wouldn't be my first thought is that it's a person on a homeowners association.
Yeah.
Saying, well, you got to
get these things cleaned up because,
like a retired person who's up at 4 a.m. working in their yard thinks that everybody else has that same schedule.
Right.
Well, my yard's clean.
What's the matter with you guys?
Get on it.
We're going to find.
I'm going to send a letter to the city.
Yeah, it sounds like a homeowner's deal, not a city.
That's
deal.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're right. It does sound exactly like a homeowner's letter.
Yeah.
Get this stuff cleaned up, or we're going to start fining you. Oh, jeez.
We'll see.
All right, so that's bad news, and the city of Spokane knows better. Come on, that's silly. People will clean up and take care of it, but give them some. They didn't have any power for 3 days.
Yeah.
Let alone
Why
get out
don't
there
you
and
work
clean
on
up
your
the
grid?
mess. Where is your grid?
Get
by
your
the way?
grid working.
All right, Chipotle, they're still in business. And they're not going to raise prices to cover the cost of new safety procedures following an outbreak of illnesses linked to the restaurant chain, according to the company's founder and CEO, Steve Ellis. He was in Seattle yesterday, Jeff, and he was talking to the employees and saying, well, we've got some new safety rules.
Good.
But we're not going to raise prices.
Good.
And you're not getting raises.
Because we got to cover this
We got
somehow.
to clean this thing up, man. All right.
Either we're not getting raises or we're not going to be paying our taxes this year. 619, we're going to step aside here from Westwood One just a second. 19-year-old Southern sea otter, known for her ability to stack plastic cups, has died.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah.
Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in Tacoma. Nellie euthanized Sunday, experiencing an acute illness.
Better place.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, 6:19 on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting the Patriots will place running back LeGarrette Blount on season-ending injury reserve with a hip injury. Blount suffered the injury in Sunday night's win over the Texans. On Tuesday, the Patriots signed running back Monty Ball to their practice squad. The Broncos have announced that Brock Osweiler will start under center for Denver when they take on the Steelers this Sunday. Coach Gary Kubiak also expects Peyton Manning to practice with the team on Wednesday. Rappaport is also reporting that Panthers tight end Greg Olsen did not suffer a significant injury in Sunday's blowout win over the Falcons. Olsen left the game after landing awkwardly and twisting his knee. Thursday, the Bucs run for a wild card spot heats up when they take on the Rams. Then it's a special Saturday edition as the Jets' playoff push continues against the Cowboys. Two huge showdowns this week, only on NFL Network. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. Know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun.
Cops are out there cracking down on drunk driving all across the country, and they'll see you before you see them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
While most video surveillance solutions capture and store hours of nothing, CUDA Eye by Barracuda Networks only captures video when something happens. Once captured on camera, the video evidence is immediately encrypted and sent to the cloud for safe storage and easy retrieval from any web browser or mobile device. With CUDA Eye, there's no network configuration or software to install. Just plug one or more cameras into your network to better protect your business. Don't get caught with nothing. Do something about it. Check out CUDAeye.com. That's CUDAEYE.com.
The folks at Seattle Seafood believe the holiday season is the perfect time to send warm wishes for the best that life has to offer and to say thanks for your friendship and goodwill. The holiday's best from Seattle Seafood.
Greetings of the season from the folks at Lucky Eagle Casino. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Again, best wishes from Lucky Eagle Casino.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Your small business needs a loyalty rewards program, but email and paper cards are not effective, and using your POS system where you have to do all the work is bad as well. Go mobile. 95% of customers will check your marketing message on their smartphones in the first 5 minutes you send it, and we do all the work for you for under $150 a month. Call Puget Sound Perks today, 253-584-1212, or visit psperks.com. Reward your customers, and they'll reward you back.
Hi, my name is Karen Herr, Mason County Auditor, and you're listening to Jeff and Dale on Daybreak on KMAS Radio.
Okay, thanks, Karen. And 6:25 here at KMAS 38 right now. And 7:53 the sunrise this morning, 4:23 sunset tonight. 10 days till Christmas, Dale. Today's the 15th, right? No, today's the 16th?
16th.
Where did the 15th go?
It came and went, my friend. That was yesterday.
I thought you said we were 10 days from Christmas yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. I was right on. I was spot on.
You know, I was thinking on my walk this morning, oh, man, did I tell you that I saw
like the sands of time. What?
It just goes by.
I know.
3 shooting stars the other day and a strange person standing at the end of the road on my walk. Did I tell you about that?
3 shooting stars and a strange man standing in the woods.
Yep.
What?
No, that was exactly how it worked.
Yikes. That'd be scary.
So I turned the corner out of the neighborhood, looked down the way, and I know the layout, right? Because I've walked it every day for the last whatever. There's a power pole. Here's the intersection. There's a stop sign. What's this thing in the middle?
Oh, so
kind of starting to move a little bit. I go, that's not a person. That can't be a person. Nobody's on these walks at 4 a.m. Fortunately, I caught it before the dogs caught it.
Yeah.
And so I turned on my flashlight, which I never use because it's more peaceful in the dark. And so I shine the light down like, hey, something's happening. Shine it on the dogs. Hey, I have animals.
Yeah.
And the person still kind of just stands there and then moves off into the woods.
Jeez.
And when I get to the intersection, do a quick sweep, nothing.
Gone. Maybe it was just you. Because the dogs weren't
Maybe
excited.
It was a mere, so me, like in...
Maybe it was your alter bizarro world, Jeff,
my,
standing on the corner.
My 2 minutes into the future, Jeff.
Oh.
Standing there.
Wow.
Yeah, yikes. Anyways, this morning I was thinking how happy I am that we're so ahead of the game when it comes to our shopping for presents for holiday. But then...
Are they wrapped?
No.
Okay.
We're only 8 days away. So really
You're not really far ahead. No.
So we're only 8 days from Christmas.
Eve.
Yeah. I think Hanukkah ended yesterday.
Oh,
and there are other holidays going on throughout. But the main one for America is Christmas, whatever.
So Hanukkah's over, I can eat whatever I want?
Yep, we're good. I don't know if there's those same restrictions during Hanukkah. I think that's Lent you're thinking of.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. The man who was fatally shot by the Thurston County SWAT team has been, while he was holding his 3-year-old daughter at knife point, by the way, has been identified, but his name is a very big challenge. And I'm not even going to attempt it. There's 3 names there.
Sure.
That, you can look it up.
I would say so.
All right. So, big Navy base, Kitsap, Bangor Navy base, federal judge blocking Kitsap County from releasing information about plans for responding to accidents that would involve, dare I say, the words nuclear warheads. They're there.
Yeah, they're there.
In the big picture, and I hope no terrorists are listening, but Bangor may be a global target because of its nuclear warheads. A judge granted temporary restraining order, by the way, to at the request of the Navy, the FBI, and other federal agencies. So agencies say that Kitsap County only had those documents because it participated in joint training exercises with federal responders, and a condition of the county receiving the documents was that they not release them without permission. So they just want to make sure that everything stays secret.
That seems like it should be a secretive. More
seems like it would be a perceived as a normal thing. Hey, don't tell anybody about this.
Yeah. So hey, guess what? Something happened.
Especially
Here's how we're gonna
stand around the fence asking questions.
This is exactly how we're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
So then you know exactly how you get in and do the other stuff. Wow.
Hey, how do you get in this place anyway? Never mind.
Tonight on KMAS.com, live video coverage of the Shelton boys basketball game against Mount Tahoma. So just before 7, we'll go online and provide you with the starting lineups. Jerry Apple will have those and a national anthem. And then Dale and I will split the quarters and have a good time. We'll come up with some sort of a halftime program. This Friday night, there is a performance alongside the dance team during the Central Kitsap girls basketball game, which we also have on our web stream at KMAS.com in high definition.
Okay, tonight, the Oakland Bay Junior High and the Shelton High School Band Holiday Concert starts at 7 at your Performing Arts Center there on the SHS campus. What a facility.
Yeah.
Received some nice pictures from Dave Meisers yesterday.
And he's got.
And I'll tell you what, a great experience, some culture for those of you so inclined. So another double whammy at SHS on campus tonight, the holiday concert at the Performing Arts Center, and basketball in the mini dome.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You are listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint and robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The 5th Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be this Saturday. The debate will take place in Manchester, New Hampshire at St. Anselm College. This will be the third debate with Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
This is Men's Health Live from Men's Health Magazine.
We have, for instance, this thing called the Works Semi-Auto Driver. That's actually a screwdriver, which doesn't sound very exciting, but it's designed with a rotating cartridge of bits so that you sort of cock it back like a gun and it'll change the bits. Here, maybe you can hear it.
Men's Health Live, the radio show that's full of tons of useful stuff from the biggest and best-selling men's lifestyle magazine in the world, Men's Health.
Hi, it's Dale from the Daybreak Show, inviting you to join Jeff Slakey and myself every morning from 6 till 9. We have what we think is a pretty compelling mix of news, information, and interviews.
Hi, this is Dick Taylor from the Port of Shelton.
Hi, this is Mike Patty, Assistant Chief with Central Mason Fire and EMS.
This is Detective William Adam at the Mason County Sheriff's Office.
This is Commissioner Randy Netherland, and you're listening to Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
On KMAS.
On Newsradio, 1030 KMAS.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and KMAS.com, where you'll find us audio and video this morning.
Yes.
Right there, smiling and dialing. All right, sports notes for you. Officially now, the Seattle Seahawks have placed Thomas Rawls on injured reserve, deep on injured reserve, as he is going to be unable to play out the rest of the season. What with the, the broken ankle. That'll keep you out for a while. So that's a tough break for the Seahawks. I don't know how much impact it will have. Well, it'll remain to be seen. We'll take our first step. Sans, he and Marshawn Lynch, this Sunday when we take on the Cleveland Browns. Bryce Brown, coincidence? I don't know. I'm not sure. Bryce Brown re-signed to bolster our running back group, and he had an okay game, having just arrived in camp. So we'll see how it all plays out this Sunday. 11 a.m. our coverage begins with Seahawks Sunday, and kickoff a little after 1. A home game against the I think they're 3-10, 3-9. Anyway, they've got 3 wins.
Yeah.
And they got their third win just last weekend, as it turns out. So we'll see how that all plays out for the Seahawks and the Browns. This coming Sunday, now tonight, we've got sports on KMAS.com. Join Jeff and myself for a live video cast of the Shelton High Climbers taking on Mount Tahoma. We'll begin our coverage right before 7, and you can find the video on KMAS.com or on our Facebook page, which is Facebook/1030. KMAS. We'll be there and be on the front page of KMAS.com. Just click it on and away you go. Enjoyable high school basketball for your viewing and listening pleasure.
38 currently. Good morning to you. Some clouds and fog throughout the day. Likely to see some rain during the overnight, 1/2 inch. Into tomorrow, where we'll add it 1 3/4 inches of rain tomorrow. Friday, 1/4 inch. Saturday, 3/4 inch, and more rain into next week. By the time we get to Christmas Eve, Christmas, around these parts, we could see a little bit of snow for a white Christmas. Wouldn't that be something?
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here, 6:37. Good morning.
39, 30,
38.
38. Got a little cooler as I got a little closer to the plateau, there where the airport is.
Yeah, I could smile by that.
Yeah, and it started out about 41 in Hoodsport, down to about 38, 39 degrees while I was percolating along the airport strip there. And we've got fog. There is some fog, so be careful. And I think there's certainly going to be a possibility in some areas of maybe some freezing fog over waterways while you're driving over a bridge or something. Just something to keep in mind. It'll get worse as we have temperatures dropping a little bit here as we move. I guess when we get on the other side of the rain, the rain is going to be kind of mellow, warm.
Yeah.
Hi. Well, it's wintertime, Dale. Come on.
That's what you get.
It's kind of weather we can expect. And it'll all get better. Really, when you think about it, we are 1 week away from the first day of winter.
Mm-hmm.
And that means the days are going to start getting longer again.
Yeah. And it happens fast, too.
It really does. And so, next thing you'll know, you go, man, it's staying late. I got time to do stuff after work.
We're down to about 8.5 hours of length of day, about 10 hours of visible light, but that is the very first crack of dawn and the very last set of sun.
Yeah.
But about 8.5 hours is all you get throughout the day.
That's not much.
No.
That's not much.
Debate last night. Do you watch it? Listen to it? Listen to it, of course, on the radio.
I listened to it and then watched it and probably invested maybe too much time. I don't know. I watched the whole bloody thing, the main event.
Both?
Not both of them, but almost all of the preliminary one and all of the main event there. Again, I contend, I don't know how many people are in support of this, but it's just too danged many.
So I'm trying to figure out if it's the networks that is choosing this or if it's the RNC that's choosing this. The amount of people.
I don't know.
Fox Business is going to have a debate right before Iowa. This was the last debate of the year, but they have not come out with their requirements.
Is Iowa before? Is that the first one?
Yeah.
First, but there was some kind of a caveat with Iowa as opposed to the rest of the primaries. I can't remember what that is. There's something different about that vote that distinguishes it from the rest of the primaries.
It's a caucus, so it's not a primary voting state. It's a caucus, so people gather and kind of form a consensus.
Okay, all right. I think that's what they were trying to say.
And it's the first of the country. February 1 is when that is. Man. February, so likely not to see anybody drop out until that.
No, I suspect everybody's going to hang on.
But come on, Pataki, all those guys on that lower. What are they doing?
Here's the thing though. Those four by themselves, if they were the only four to choose from, a couple of them presented a pretty good case last night. Again, with only four, they had time to
flush out some ideas.
Yeah, talk their thoughts through and not get interrupted because everybody's worried about airtime.
One thing I'm not happy with is anytime a name is mentioned, that person gets 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they just kind of, hey, Dale, I'm going to name you everyone and you name me and everyone. Right. And then.
Which they got kind of bogged down in the main event on that. Yeah, but here's the thing. So Trump was mentioned a bazillion times in the first group.
Yeah.
He had no recourse.
No, he didn't. It was just
he chastised the network.
Sure.
So I think that was a terrible.
I'm not here to defend my situation. Is that what he was saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Basically.
I think so. Some of the thoughts that I came away with last night watching the whole bloody mess. Number one, Carly Fiorina does not get very much mic time in any of these, and I don't know why that is. But she probably stood up there for, I would say, a full 20 minutes before they addressed anything to her.
Sure.
And very frustrating for if you were wanting to know what she thought about anything. They went through one topic, and everybody on the dais got a comment except her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just, it's just really glaring. It was glaring to me. I thought that Chris Christie had his best night of the season. So. And I think he got a bump in his campaign from last evening.
What about all the fighting between Bush and Trump?
Yeah, it gets pretty petty, and
really petty.
And it doesn't do much to secure the faith of the people to see them fighting like schoolboys out on the playground. And I think Jeb Bush is slipping precipitously in all this. And it looks as though the media has picked Cruz and Rubio as the two front runners.
Seems like it.
And that Trump is going to fall off after the second primary, and it'll be those two.
What are they waiting?
I don't know if that's going to happen, but that just seems to be the way they were directing it all in the post game kind of comments
in
and
the
stuff.
spin room.
Yeah.
There was some stuff. I still am a fan of what seems to be more level-headedness from Kasich.
Yeah.
But it's just not the right
Huckabee
time
had some
for that.
great thoughts, and he was, he was all together, but again, buried underneath all the other candidates that are up ahead of him. It just doesn't seem very fair. They've never gotten to engage with the top frontrunners.
Christie made it back, I think only because Bobby Jindal dropped out between the last two.
Right, and that's probably it. It's probably true. Actually, truth be known, Paul was the least. He was the first one introduced. He's got the fewest votes. He barely made it into the
there was
the
some
big boy
people
team.
wondering why he was there, why he got the nod.
Because he's the dove. The rest of them are hawks.
He really is.
So I think that's why they had him up there.
They really were pounding in on that isolationism.
Oh, yeah.
I
like the topic, by the way, and there was thoughtful and good suggestions about that, but holy cow.
Do you think there is a real idea that the internet could be shut down in certain countries? I get that we created it. Our government and our military and DARPA and the UC Berkeley, those people started the baseline of the internet. But it's gone like wildfire.
Sure.
So do you think there is a room somewhere in America that has every country and you can just like flip a key?
To block them from getting emails in and out of the United States?
No, I think just to shut down
their internet? I don't know.
That's what they were kind of alluding to.
Yeah, see, now I understood it to be we would block off anything that came from that particular country. I may have misunderstood. I can't fathom. I can't imagine how you can just wipe off an internet.
So maybe blocking a full country, the thought was changed later in the debate, but that was the first initial. We'll just shut it off in Syria, shut it off in Iraq.
Turn off the faucet.
Turn off the faucet.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
It is possible for those who are lax in their commitment to watering and repotting plants to grow something. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. Air plants prefer hands-off relationships as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
We are doers. We are successful only when the job is done. We are Kubota. With Kubota's all-new B50 series compact tractors, we dig in, load up, and haul out with ease. Every B50 series runs on a cleaner running Kubota diesel engine with up to 33 horsepower. Plus, see your landscape in a whole new way from the comfort of an available fully integrated cab. Visit your local Kubota dealer today for low-rate long-term financing during the Power to Do Great Things sales event. Here to help the doers, we are Kubota.
Need new ideas for what to do around your place? Register for a free Living the Country Life newsletter. Once a week, you'll receive helpful tips on key topics such as landscaping, animals and poultry, outdoor improvement projects, recreational activities, and much more. The newsletter delivers the latest trends, alerts you to informational courses, shares what other people are doing on their properties, and provides details about exciting sweepstakes and other contests. Sign up for your free newsletter today by visiting livingthecountrylife.com.
I'm not a fan of houseplants. Not that I don't like them, it's just that I overwater, forget to water, or my cat eats them. I've seen air plants for sale in a local nursery, just hanging out in bowls of glass or on some other cutesy thing, and there's no soil underneath them at all. I also noticed there are no roots either. Frank Messina is a wholesale grower of air plants in California. He says they don't need roots.
It gets all of its light and all of its water through its leaves, so it doesn't have any roots that take any water up. Nutrients and water come through its leaves through little scales called trichomes, and these scales act like sponges and absorb the water into the plant.
Most air plants need a drink of water once or twice per week, depending on the environment. But keep it simple. Hold them under a faucet or dunk them in a bucket of water for a few seconds. Turn the plants upside down to drain so water isn't lodged in their crevices. They will grow faster if they're fertilized, but Messina says they don't need it. Even if your other house plants are dying off, air plants will live and keep producing baby plants.
The life cycle is basically the plant maybe would start from a seed, would grow to maturity, and produce a bloom. After it blooms, it produces pups or offshoots off the bottom of the plant, and those will become a larger and larger colony. As you grow more of them, you can break them off and give them to your friends, and the plants will continue on as long as they're taken care of properly.
The other great thing about air plants is the endless ways to display them in places where you didn't think it was possible to grow plants. They can dangle from wherever you want them to, as long as they have light and good air circulation. Learn more about the wonder of air plants at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
If you're first to arrive at the scene of an accident, PUD number 3 reminds you to pull over and put on your emergency flasher to help warn oncoming traffic. Check the condition of the victims, and in most cases, it's not wise to try to move them. A safe driving reminder from PUD number 3.
Hold onto your steering wheel firmly during the winter driving season. Castle and Coleman Logging says don't attempt large turns. A light touch should be used to correct swerves. Castle and Coleman Logging reminds you that safe winter driving requires extra attention and extra care.
Hi, this is State Senator Tim Sheldon, and you are listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
6:50.
What's going on here?
10 away from 7.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose still out of the Hall of Fame, but optimistic that someday he'll get his ticket punched.
Now, are there no other baseball folk in Cooperstown that have ever shenanigan during baseball?
Come on.
I'm just wondering.
Are you kidding me? So
it's kind of a rhetorical question.
I would be willing to bet, and not that we endorse gambling in any way, shape, or form.
But we are talking about Pete Rose.
That the Babe probably laid down $1 or $2 on a game.
Oh, come on. You know, he probably bet before he went up to bat.
I'll bet you I can hit a home run.
Home run. Yeah, right.
10-1 says you're on. You know, I mean, it is the culture. It was the culture. You know, I guess the big bone of contention for Pete Rose is that they are worried that because he bet on his own team. But he bet on his own team. If you know how spirited his competitiveness is, then you know that he never bet against the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, why would he bet against?
He would never do that, ever, manager or player. Yeah. So, in a way, it's almost laughable, but in another way, I can see the seriousness of it. If they endorse a gambler, who denied it, oh Lord, what kind of a bar are we setting, for the future Hall of Famers? But if you peel back all the behavior of everybody that's enshrined in that Hall of Fame, you would find some less than ideal models of perfect living.
Yeah.
So, I think everybody should chill. Look at what he accomplished on the field. Look what he did for the game of baseball. And then on those merits, grant him, his place there, because
put an asterisk by it if you want, or underneath,
or just say the allegations, and his career ended with allegations of gambling and corruption, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. But he accomplished a lot and did things that no other baseball player before or since have ever accomplished, and so that needs to be acknowledged. They've got their head in the sand to not put him in there. I mean, it's if I was a baseball writer, I'd be voting for him every time. But he's got his detractors and he's got his supporters. Apparently, there's more detractors than supporters in the voting of how it's done. So, public consensus just barely over the halfway mark of saying, let him be in it.
Right.
But just barely half. And so they, being the baseball people, I think it's the baseball writers is the first wave of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the veterans group that gets to choose. And you would think that the old timers would be a little bit more compassionate about it, but old Johnny Hustle, he probably miffed off a few of those guys that are in the hall today.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't, but I mean, there was dirty playing, there was pine tar, there's loaded bats.
Is George Brett in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. I think so.
Pine tar thing.
Yeah. So going way back into the, early 1900s when baseball was a lot of characters, and they all made it the Hall of Fame. Come on. Now you might notice the flags at half mast today, and you're asking yourself, what is up with that? Well,
I am.
It was on this date, Jeff, in 1974 that Mott the Hoople broke up.
Oh, God. Mott.
Moment of silence, please. Thank you. Goodness gracious.
Why did Carson do a moment of silence at his first minute?
For the
I know why. Yeah. I know the reason.
Yeah.
But really? Come on.
I know. He's a different bird. I think he did better last night than he had the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a good night.
Who had the best night out of all 13?
I would say the night, for my money, belonged to Chris Christie. Had the best. He made the most forward movement from his previous position to where, after it was over, he had to be really happy about the response he got in the room, and the words that he came up with for answers, and the way that he delivered them, and he finished his thoughts in time. And I think
the time thing too.
Ted Cruz doesn't know thank you, sir. And he just kept blathering on, and he'd be like, a minute or 2 minutes beyond his time, and we weren't all there just to hear what he had to say. And so it was I think he lost a little ground last night, but he's still, I think, maybe a front runner, really, to be honest with you. And it's going to be quite a horse race. But I think Chris Christie maybe helped improve himself. The Ohio governor, Kasich had one of his better nights last night. And he's got this goofy.
He uses his arms a lot.
His hands.
He's got over here.
Yeah, and he keeps his fingers together, and you got to do this, and it's like he's karate chopping lettuce or something. But anyway.
NPR has tallied the amount of airtime each main stage candidate got.
Yeah. How much did Carly get?
Carly got 9 minutes and 32 seconds.
Last?
No. Kasich, bottom, 9 minutes, flat.
Oh.
9:32 for Fiorina, 9:46 for Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Bush at 10:13. Carson, even with the silence, 10 minutes and 27 seconds.
Yeah.
Chris Christie at 10:45.
Bush didn't even get much airtime.
No. Trump at 13:25, Rubio at 13:33, and then Cruz.
Yeah,
just near 16 minutes.
Yeah, he hogged the time, but they addressed a lot of questions to him and Rubio. I mean, it looked to be a two-man show, the way they were throwing the questions out. And then, of course, they'd mention each other, and just like what you were saying, they might have had a deal going. You mention my name, and I'll mention yours.
We are both senators.
We'll get another 30 seconds to talk.
Do I get to talk? I did notice Rand said something and kind of slipped into Rubio. And he said my name. He said my name. I get another 30 seconds.
All right, CNBC and the news. ABC is on the way.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are higher. The Dow's up 120 points. The Nasdaq higher by 27. It's decision day. In just a few hours, we'll learn whether the Fed will raise interest rates for the first time in 9 years. It's widely expected the central bank will raise them by a symbolic 25 basis points. Groundbreaking on new homes in November, bouncing back from a 7-month low. The Commerce Department says housing starts rose 10.5% on an annual pace. Shares of Valiant Pharmaceuticals are up 4.5% despite cutting its fourth quarter forecast. But the Canadian drug maker says it still expects double-digit percentage sales growth through higher volumes next year. And Walt Disney is up more than 1%, the company releasing its newest installment of its hit Star Wars movie last night. The Force Awakens getting positive reviews. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Are you ready to take your diabetes management and highly accurate with close to lab level results? And Contour Next gives you a second chance, allowing you to reapply to the same strip when the first sample is not enough, saving you time and money. So take the challenge. Go to ContourNextChallenge.com, get a free meter, and enter to win free test strips. Contour Next. Accurate.
Heading out of town? Listen to KMAS Shelton wherever you have a cell signal. Check out our website customized for your smartphone and listen online at KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. A visible police presence is in place at Los Angeles public schools, reopening for the first day since yesterday's closure because of an email threat. Meanwhile, ABC's Leanne Suter tells us police are searching for the sender.
Authorities say that subpoenas have already been issued in relation to those threats as investigators try to track down who sent that email threat.
The writer could face prison time. It was an exceptionally bumpy landing for a Southwest Airlines jet from Houston to Nashville. The plane landed safely on the runway but veered off into a ditch. ABC's Jim Ryan has the latest.
The carrier has issued a statement saying that the safety of customers and employees is its primary focus. Federal investigators will be sent to find out why Flight 31 rolled off a taxiway and into a ditch at Nashville International Airport. 8 of the passengers who had just arrived from Houston had minor injuries.
It was a contentious contest at last night's Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas. Jeb Bush called Donald Trump a chaos candidate. Trump noted Bush kept getting closer to the edge of the stage with each debate and will soon be off completely. ABC political analyst Matthew Dowd offers this take.
Donald Trump is still the leader, still the person to beat, still the dominant candidate in the race, with Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz as the closest ones able to try to take him down. But Donald Trump, out of this debate, is still the dominant player in the GOP.
If you're dreaming of a white Christmas, chances are you'll be disappointed. Forecasters say snow is unlikely in more than half the nation, from southwest Texas to New England, thanks to El Nino. E-cigarettes are on fire among young people, according to a new study. Their popularity is being fueled by curiosity. 17% of high school seniors and 9% of 8th graders reported using them. 40% said it was because they tasted good. More than 50% said they wanted to experiment. A new type of drone on sale in Japan is meant to stand virtual guard. When it senses motion, it flies over to investigate and send live video to its owner. This is ABC News.
The gift that keeps on giving is almost always just a metaphor. Open it once, gift over. But at TGI Fridays, we have the gift that actually does keep on giving. For just $10, get any endless app, like one of 8 flavors of boneless wings, and we'll keep them coming over and over again. For a bit more, you can switch to another app. Loaded potato skins? Sure. Pan-seared pot stickers? Fine. You can even try them all. We don't care. We're just excited about giving and then giving some more. Endless apps with endless choice are back at TGI Fridays. At participating restaurants for a limited time. While supplies last, other restrictions apply.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Marrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely going to know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Offers end 1/7/16. Offers require not recorded and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due at sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Ghostbusters is now officially a national treasure. ABC's Scott Goldberg tells us it's one of the 25 classic movies the Library of Congress is adding to its film registry.
Ever since the movie came out in 1984, there's only been one answer to the question, who you gonna call? It was an instant classic, delivering lines that became part of our lexicon.
He slimed me.
Now it's enshrined in the National Film Registry at the Library of Congress, along with Top Gun, L.A. Confidential, The Shawshank Redemption, and lesser-known productions like ABC parent company Walt Disney's 1946 educational film, The Story of Menstruation.
Why is nature always called Mother Nature?
25 films chosen for their cultural, historic, or aesthetic importance. Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
After all these years, Thriller is still scaring up sales and giving the king of pop a new milestone. The album has now sold 30 million copies in the U.S., making Jackson the first artist to attain 30 times multi-platinum status. It was originally sold in '82. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint and robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The fifth Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be this Saturday. The debate will take place in Manchester, New Hampshire at St. Anselm College. This will be the third debate with Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Tune in all season long to NFL Preview right here on Westwood One. Hi, this is Boomer Esiason. Join me and Scott Graham each week as we preview the entire NFL schedule. We'll break down each matchup and tell you what to watch out for so you can be ready for all the NFL action. If you want the most comprehensive look inside the National Football League, then you need to tune into NFL Preview right here.
7:30 Sunday morning on AM 1030, FM 103.3, KMAS News Radio.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
A surprise announcement from Badgerland. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports.
It is so emotional right now, and I'm trying to hold this together.
Wisconsin basketball coach Bo Ryan said before the season that this would be his last go-round with the Badgers. But no one expected Coach Bo to make the announcement right after Wisconsin's 64-49 win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi last night, just 7 games into the season.
We talked about different ways of doing this, and time-wise, I know how things get out and how people talk. So this way, we finish out the last game of the semester.
So Bo Ryan leaves the program having done more in 14 years than any other coach in the previous 100. Assistant Greg Gard takes over as interim coach. To the NBA, the Cavaliers slapped the Celtics 89-77 in Boston. LeBron James very happy to have Iman Shumpert back in the lineup.
He just fits our DNA so well. Probably the best hands in the NBA, along with Kawhi Leonard. Defensively, he just plays just very, very good basketball.
James scored 24 points, just like old times in Los Angeles.
Lakers break. Nance has got it. There's a foul and a bucket by Kobe, a three-pointer.
On KSPN, Kobe Bryant led the way with 22 points in the Lakers' rare laugher over the Bucks 113-95, and Sacramento topped the Rockets 107-97. Baseball outfielder Jason Hayward, no longer a free agent, making it official after signing with the Cubs. And now that he's on the north side, there's just one goal.
It'd be a beautiful thing to win a World Series, for one. I'm a baseball player, and that's what I strive to do every year. And to do it in this city, it's a no-brainer that it would be making history.
Hayward agreed to an 8-year, $184 million deal. NFL news, Peyton Manning is expected to be back on the practice field today for the Broncos for the first time in a month. Quarterback Brock Osweiler makes the start at Pittsburgh. Patriots running back LeGarrette Blount and Ravens defensive end Chris Canty done for the season with injuries. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3. Thanks for tuning in, and we are streaming audio this morning and video, KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. This Saturday night, Gonzaga will be in Seattle. It's the battle in Seattle against the Tennessee Volunteers. Big matchup at they call it the Key Arena Coliseum.
Oh,
yeah.
I just assumed they were playing it.
Where did you?
At Alaska Airlines Arena at the Heck Edmonds.
Yeah, no, that's the Huskies.
Probably at the Key.
Yeah, so Tennessee and Gonzaga Bulldogs on this side coming up this Saturday night. Tonight on KMAS.com, live video coverage of the Shelton Boys High School game against Mount Tahoma. We'll begin our stream right before 7 o'clock. Join Jeff and myself on KMAS.com or from our Facebook page, Facebook/1030 KMAS, and we'll go right back at it again on Friday night for the Lady Climbers as they host Central Kitsap. All that action live from the Mini Dome. And we will mention that the Seattle Seahawks now trying to figure out, what's the next logical step with all of our running backs decimated by injuries. We'll get another running back and put him on the roster. Seahawks placed rookie running back Thomas Rawls on injured reserve and re-signed Bryce Brown to bolster the depleted running back group. And Brown has had 2 brief stints with Seattle this season, but was inactive for his only 2 games with the team. 7th-round pick by Philly back in 2012. He's rushed for just over 1,000 yards and 6 TDs in his career, and also included a stint with the Buffalo Bills. So both of our running backs on the roster going into the game active this weekend are former Bills.
It's
Eventually, everybody becomes a former Buffalo Bill, I think. I think.
Everybody moves from Buffalo to Seattle.
Pretty much so. Pretty much so. That's sports notes for you this time around. And Jeff Slakey has our window of weather.
Yeah, for sure. And good morning to you. It's 38 right now. We're going to warm up to about 41. Likely to see some rain during the overnight. Half inch into tomorrow, where just tomorrow is likely to see 1 3/4 inches. Whoa, that's a lot of rain. Moving into the weekend, more. And by the time old Sandy Claus makes his way down the chimney, could be a white Christmas around these parts.
He could slide right off the roof.
Very well could.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at KMAS 713. Port of Call coming up today, Wednesdays. Port of Call with Dick Taylor and John Dobson. Yesterday's port meeting bid adieu to Commissioner Tom Wallitner.
Yes.
Time well served in the port. Moving on to New Horizons, and the newest commission member will be getting going just after the first of the year.
Sue Patterson.
Congratulations to her for winning this past election. And it is December 16th. Holy moly.
It is, Jeff. And not too many days left here in autumn.
No.
We are less than a week away from the first day of winter. The good news is that, the bad news is that, we're in winter. Yeah, we'll be in the winter, but the days start getting longer. Not noticeably at first.
I notice
it. But for us who skirt the edge of daylight,
you really notice
you can always tell. You can always do the marker. Not that we always skirt the edge of daylight at night, but in the morning, we're right there. The edge
we're
of
right
daylight.
there for sure.
Yeah.
This is one of the first songs I ever remember hearing. So when I was
Did you learn how to walk like an Egyptian, though?
I'm trying to think how this worked out. Great karaoke song, too, by the way.
No, who's the Bangles?
The Bangles. I used to sing this all the time. Fun to sing. People love it.
How's the word?
Well, I'll tell a story. So I remember when I was in kindergarten through third grade, I went to a private school in Lacey called Holy Family. And we would have Holy Family just right near the Thurston County Fairgrounds. And I remember we would go to Pietro's Pizza, or maybe it was Shakey's.
Oh, yeah.
In Lacey.
Oh, man.
Could have been Pietro's. And so we'd go get some pizza, and we'd go to Skateland.
Wow. What fun.
Once a month, because there was only 9 kids in each class, and the same kids in every year. So there wasn't a lot of activities happening.
Right. Well, that's fun, though.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Pizza and skating? Beautiful.
And I remember this song while I was skating.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought for some reason it was a blues song. A little blue.
Hopping down around the deal, the skate. Where'd you go roller skating at?
Skateland. Looks exactly the same. But I do remember hearing this song while I was skating, and I always thought that I was pulling one over on my folks or something. Like I wasn't supposed to be listening to this song or this kind of music.
Did you?
Oh, I don't know what's happening. Well, Bengals walk like an Egyptian. That's a good one, though.
That is a good one. It conjures up good memories for a lot of folks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And a fun song. And it was, number 1 on the charts on this day? Or
you got it.
The disco era was ushered in on this date in history. Jeff, you want to talk about musical history?
Mm-hmm.
The disco era with the debut of Saturday Night Fever.
Yes.
Saturday Night Fever. The disco craze was unleashed upon a unsuspecting nation, is how they wrote this down. 1977, day or two ago. And within 1 year, mirror balls and hey, was the way to roll, baby. And man, what a moment in musical history. The disco era started on this very day
How would you describe disco music? I mean, if you were to
disco's here and disco's there, disco's
so it's the precursor to CDs.
Yeah.
this disc.
Oh man, Tiny Tim, Miss Vicky married on the Tonight Show on the state.
Yeah,
that was like the highest rated program ever. 1969. Wasn't much going on.
No, there was not.
Winding down the war, and Tiny Tim was an unusual part of our culture.
Johnny Carson really liked him, didn't he?
Yeah, that was the only reason Indy was on TV.
Tiptoe through the window.
How can you not like a guy like that?
He come tiptoe through the tulips.
I think every red-blooded American male wanted to just punch him in the nose.
Think so?
And then we got used to him, and then we kind of liked him, and he'd be emotional on with Johnny, you know, share his deepest secrets with him, and they were strange.
Him and Miss Vicky.
Yeah, well, Johnny Carson.
Him and Johnny.
And Tiny Tim. You wouldn't ever think Johnny Carson would give him the time of day, and they had a pretty good relationship, pretty good friendship, you know, over the years. And unfortunately, Tiny Tim died, I think, within 10 years there after getting married to Miss Vicky. On stage, though, went out as a hoofer.
Whoa.
And there you go. He was actually doing Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And all right, what else significant? The Boston Tea Party today, Jeff. And Sam Adams, I'll bring the beer. Paul Revere, I've got 2 arms. No, Paul, quit that stupid joke. Anyway, so a big party. And, of course, chests of tea into the harbor. Take that, England, and your taxes.
How many?
342 chests.
That's a
tea.
Shipload of tea.
That's a shipload, baby.
What else happened?
Sam Adams says, we don't need no stinking tea here. I know how to make a brew.
I got
this will be famous Boston lager someday.
Adult tea.
Yeah, tea for you 21-year-olds. Come on over here.
Miami Dolphins go undefeated.
He announced his nomination for president.
And OJ was in the news in 73.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
To begin, let me say I look forward to our brief encounter.
Me too.
The search for great value led me to you. When I mix and match, great value will be mine. And to that you say...
What would you like?
Yes!
Now, don't just get value at McDonald's, own it. Get 2 of your favorite tastes for just $5 on the new McPick 2 menu, like a sausage McMuffin with egg and a strawberry banana smoothie. Value is back at McDonald's. Own it. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu board. You answered all your emails by noon. Get a freshly prepared Egg McMuffin. Actually left work on time? Then get yourself a savory sausage McMuffin with egg. You saw the weirdest midnight movie. Well, get a delicious sausage burrito. With McDonald's all-day breakfast menu, you can get delectable breakfast tastes anytime. Egg McMuffin, hotcakes and sausage and more. It's time to start enjoying the breakfast you love whenever you want. Just listen to a radio commercial? Get some golden hash browns. McDonald's all-day breakfast menu varies by location.
This is the sound of crispy bacon. This is the sound of pepper bacon. And this is the sound of Canadian bacon. And this is the sound of Papa Murphy's Bacon 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 Pizza. You know why you don't hear anything? It was delicious. Bring home a large Papa Murphy's signature Bacon 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 Pizza, topped with crispy, pepper, and Canadian bacon. Just $12. Try it as a fresh pan for just $1 more. Fresh made, fresh baked, fresh craving. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Hey, this is Debbie Gibson on Daybreak News Radio KMAS.
Debbie Gibson.
Pretty big time these days we are.
We get all the hot shots.
All right, Dale, we were just talking about the Miami Dolphins, laces out, going undefeated.
Yeah.
Who was the coach?
John Shula.
That's right.
Who was actually in attendance on Monday night at the Monday night game. They had the 50-year anniversary of the Miami Dolphins.
Can I say I loved the throwbacks? The
Those
throwback
uniforms that they had on,
and then the checkerboard on
all black shoes for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah,
I liked the paint job though in the end zones too. the diamond with the Miami colors. That looks sharp. Anyways, so
50th
70
anniversary. That's pretty exciting stuff. So Shula, who my first thing I was going to say is that he really looks old. Well, he is. He's getting up there. Sure. So, I'm not going to fault him for his appearance. My goodness. His son is a coordinator on one of the teams still active in the NFL. But he popped on. I can't remember if it was halftime or post game or whatever, and chatted about. I know his son is a coordinator on the Carolina Panthers undefeated team.
Yeah.
And he's asking him about what do you think about them going undefeated and breaking your record. That would be awesome. That would be wonderful.
Wouldn't that be something of his kid to do it?
Yeah, it would be very exciting. He says, I'm excited for him, and I hope they accomplish that. And he is a man. I mean, he is an icon in NFL history. So Don Shula, Miami Dolphins, this is the year that they went 14-0, a completely perfect, unblemished regular season. Now, that was matched by New England about 10 years ago, but they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they never culminated at all. As it turns out, Miami went 17-0. They won 2 playoffs in the Super Bowl. They were a perfect team and completed a perfect season that has not yet been duplicated in the history of the NFL. So the only team left to maybe have a shot at it this season is Carolina. They're only the last standing undefeated team in football. They have a road trip this week and probably a good chance of winning. I can't recall exactly who they're playing, but I think it's at the Atlanta Falcons, who have been woeful as of late. So it'll be interesting to watch that play out.
No, they're going to be taking on
the New York Giants, who won late in Miami. That's where it came up. That's why it came up. So the Giants stole one from Miami late, and can't see. Eli Manning is a great passer. He does, and they got a great passing game. They don't have much of a running game. Carolina's defense gets a little bit covered over because of Cam Newton a little bit, but they are maybe the best defense in the NFL. That Kuechly, Kuechly, and then his counterpart. Those 2 linebackers are crazy good, really good footballers.
I mean, the only thing going for the 2 things going for the Giants are Coughlin and Odell Beckham Jr., who made another amazing catch.
Eli. Well, you're not a big Eli fan.
No, he just looks like he's a deer in the headlights always.
Okay.
Doesn't seem engaged in the game.
You might be onto something,
but Odell Beckham, another amazing catch. Caught the ball 1 foot, millimeter from the line.
Yeah,
thanks to the pylon cam.
Yeah. Oh.
Although if it weren't for the pylon cam, which is the newest, latest, and greatest.
The pylon cam.
It's right in the pylon. So you can see.
Gopher ran for presidency. I think we try to squeeze that in at the top of the hour there. He declared for Congress. He didn't declare for the presidency. Fred Gandy was the actor's name, and he did get elected, but he's no longer in Congress. I think he's out on a love boat somewhere.
He's like, I'd rather be on the boat.
I can't blame him after watching last night. Man, word.
Well, at least the Republican Party gets good time slots.
They do.
Good days.
Yeah.
These Democrats, I tell you what, it is so in the bag for Clinton. This Debbie Wasserman Schultz deal. So she runs the DNC.
Yeah.
And she has already announced her undying loyalty to Hillary. And so she's patting her and keeping her away from the burn. And so now, hate to break it to you, folks, but the millennials and the young kids, they're feeling the burn. And so there's going to be another one of these repeats where Hillary's going to lose and everybody's going to go, I had no idea. I didn't see it coming at all. Well, it's because you're not paying attention to the right voters.
It's on the way.
And, and his message, despite so little airtime, is getting out to the young voters. It's very similar. I texted you yesterday because you were wondering, you were opining of a Romney presidency.
Yeah, on my way in yesterday morning.
Well, did you get my text?
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. It was the one with
McCain. Remember? Because if it was McCain-Palin in 2000.
Yes.
So he would have been the president.
Oh.
So imagine.
If he did 2 terms.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He wouldn't even have had a Romney.
Well.
If Sarah Palin
won the first time around. Well, there would have been no talk about if we were in the Mideast at this juncture.
We would be.
They would be talking about how are we going to get out of the Mideast?
Get out of here. We've been in here for another 8
for 6 years. And McCain's in the presidency. All we do is fight in the Mideast, and we're spending too much money. And
you betcha.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta. I didn't even think about that.
I forgot all about that myself.
That was another 4 years ago.
And she was a bit of a surprise to everybody, and I think that was because McCain wanted to shake it up and do something shocking.
You still
to
haven't
get some
seen
attention.
Game Change, have you?
No.
Oh, you got to watch that movie.
Is that about the election?
About that one, the 2000 with McCain and Palin. And
I need to check that.
Ed Harris is John McCain, and Julianne Moore is Sarah Palin, and Woody Harrelson's in it, and it's really good.
Game Change?
Game Change.
Okay.
It's on the TV. The other big winner from last night's debate, Frank Underwood. FU2016.com.
Yes.
Frank Underwood.
So is this going to be a comedy series?
No, you never seen House of Cards. You don't have Netflix. I got to get you. Maybe that'll be your Christmas present. House of Cards is a great series taken off from a British of the same name. Frank, in the first couple seasons, moved his way from a congressman all the way up to the presidency without actually ever being voted for. He's a master politician, and he's a devilish fiend. And what's his face?
Yeah, the guy that does Bobby Darin.
Yeah, K-Pax. Kaiser Sose.
Yeah, that guy. What a great actor.
He is so good.
Good singer, too. So he plays, Frank Underwood, FU in 2016.
Kevin Spacey.
There it is.
What a show. I am so looking, March 4th.
See, I thought that was a brand new show starting out that they were doing a trailer on.
No, this is the 4th season.
Oh, man.
Of House of Cards.
Behind on that one.
Oh, you would love it.
Cleveland Browns, our next opponent. It was on this date 14 years ago, 2001, that fans threw thousands of bottles onto the field as they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars on a bad call. Gee, where's that? We're famous for having bad calls at our field. The Cleveland fans will be throwing this Sunday.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You are listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint and robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The fifth Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be this Saturday. The debate will take place in Manchester, New Hampshire at St. Anselm College. This will be the third debate with Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
You're always doing things for other people. Every once in a while, it's okay to do something for yourself. This is Doug Sample from Whitney Chevrolet. This holiday season, treat yourself. After all, doing things for other people often requires a reliable vehicle. If you don't enjoy the task you're doing, at least enjoy your ride. Check out our great selection of new and used cars on our lot or online at whitneychev.com.
A $150 negotiable document fee may be added to the price of all vehicles.
Just down the road to Whitney's.
Take control of your money. Start by listening to The Dave Ramsey Show.
If you want to play around with getting out of debt, you will never get out of debt. The way you get out of debt is you get fired up and you pop it in the nose, and you pop it in the nose again, and you pop it in the nose again. You gotta get after it, man. And don't be trying to play some kind of game with this stuff. This is a snake, and it needs to be crushed. As far as I'm concerned, all snakes are poisonous. It's pretty easy. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 here on KMAS.
Hey,
so there's more of that available.
Just a mere 1 year of political madness left until the next cycle starts. It's vicious. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 and KMAS.com. Good morning and welcome to Wednesday.
Ooh, it is Wednesday.
16th day of December in the year of our Lord 2015. Welcome to it. In sports notes for you from last night, River Ridge 77-71 over White River in high school basketball action. We've got high climber boys action tonight against Mount Tahoma.
Yeah.
And we'll be having that on KMAS.com video stream of the High Climbers game tonight on KMAS.com, our news site, or if you're a Facebooker, Facebook/1030 KMAS, but I don't have to tell you that. If you're a Facebooker, you already know where to find us on that, right? Where's my face? Where's my face?
I don't know. I thought you did this.
I thought I did too. I may have saw a shiny object and went.
That's very well. Yeah. That's very well possible.
Seahawks placed rookie running back Thomas Rawls on injured reserve yesterday and re-signed Bryce Brown to bolster a depleted running back group. Rawls had been starting in place of Marshawn Lynch and finished the season with 830 yards rushing in only about 6 games. I mean, full games. I mean, he was really on pace to do well this season, and we'll miss him and Marshawn here these last 3 games of the season. 35-6 the score last week. Another 5 touchdown performance for Russ Wilson. Just slight whispers of MVP for Russell.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, again,
how are they going to beat out Cam?
Well, but Russell Wilson is compiling historical levels of proficiency right now. I mean, in the annals of football, 50 years of Super Bowls, but football itself has been around for nearly 100 years, pro football, and he's like breaking records that have stood the test of time. He's on a level all to himself. If Seattle marches through the rest of the season and is a prominent playoff team, and in fact actually gets to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl, you got to think Russell Wilson will have knocked off Cam Newton somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
for voting.
Had to have.
And if this continues, and Doug Baldwin is a real key element in this. Please, Doug Baldwin, don't get hurt this week. Oh, man. Because he and Russell are locked in right now. It's magic. We'll get the chance to watch the game this Sunday. And if they continue what they've compiled the last 3 games, you're in for a treat. It's just they are locked in. He knows where he's going. He knows where he's throwing. And there's magic in the air right there. Man, I'm telling you what, it's pretty exciting stuff. All right, that's sports. That's all I got for you this time around. Jeff?
Yes, 38 right now. Cloudy skies, some rain tonight, half inch.
Wait a minute, 30. How cold is it going to be tonight?
Let's see. By the time the rain starts?
Yeah.
It'll be 38.
Really? That's kind of cold.
Yeah, but not enough.
Okay.
Not until Christmas Eve, Christmas Day are we seeing the potential for snow. Tomorrow we have over 1.5 inches of rain likely, and a lot of rain until then too.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the artesian waters of South Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you.
At 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Whatever.
I got to talk to her.
They can still. It's just not within the confines of the game.
By the way, it's a car dealer. They sell cars that can get KMAS.com on their sound system.
That's true. You can stream or just Bluetooth it through your car system.
Yeah. Even this geezer figured that one out.
Pretty slick. KMAS.com tonight, live high-def video coverage of the Shelton boys basketball game.
Yeah, HD coverage, baby. We're having fun with this, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. But it is, I'm just loving. I told you 10 years, and just being in the gym, watching the kids have a good time, and watching the young athletes competing, and how important and how great those days are for everybody. And that magic, it jumps right off the screen when you're watching these kids play, and they play so hard. And it means so much to them. So we're excited to be able to bring you the game, and it's a new way of doing things, and so the commentary is a little different. I've been a radio guy for 100 years, and so now watching it with the audience and doing the game a little different, and I have to say, a little easier.
I would assume so.
Because we're all watching. It's kind of more like sitting in your living room watching the game and making comments from the couch.
It's exactly how Carol and I felt during the video parade coverage.
Yeah.
For so long.
We did a great job.
Had to talk for 2 hours, hour and a half, however long the parade is. You have to fill that full time.
Yeah.
So, I pull out stories of this, and it's always the same stories. And this time, just to fill the dead air.
Yeah.
But now you can watch it, and certainly is something else. We're going to have a great time, too, tonight. We're going to do double duties, switching off and on the calls. And I watched a little bit of the Portland Trailblazer game yesterday against New Orleans, which was 2 days ago now.
The
Pelicans. And so I was watching it to see how they did it. And I was encouraged, not only from rewatching our broadcast,
right,
but just seeing what they talk about, what they don't talk about, and it's cool stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. A new way of presenting things. Okay.
We were just talking about disco.
Oh, man. Dancing Queen.
This is all part of it.
And that conjures up visions for folks who went through the disco era. It was about the time where YouTube busts our chops.
Benny Anderson is 69 today.
Part of the A's of the ABBA.
Yep.
Liv Ullmann, actress, 77. Okay, Leslie Stahl from 60 Minutes.
Sure.
Are you looking right at it?
I'm looking. Okay.
74, and don't know if Carol's here yet or not, but she looks good for 74.
You saying Carol's 74?
No. Will get me castrated on
Leslie Stahl. Yes, for sure. On 60 Minutes still, right?
Yes. Still doing a weekly feature. They work her to death, which is good. She's good TV. Leslie Stahl. She could use a couple of potatoes or something. She's a little skinny. That's just my own personal taste. Stephen Bochco, TV producer extraordinary, Hill Street Blues, NYPD, Blue.
Yeah, Bochco.
A lot of them. 72 today. And who else? Sam Robards, but not the original one that I'm thinking of. This must be his son.
Must be.
Because this is Sam Robards, actor, okay. Gossip Girl, huh? 54. So this has to be the old Sam Robards, grizzled veteran actor. This must be his son. Does it have anything in there on the bio?
Jason Robards, maybe, is the name.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of. Jason Robards.
Jason Robards.
Who's maybe gone from us now. Yeah, well, he passed away in 2000.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. And Benjamin Bratt, actor, Law and Order, 52, and from 2001, A Space Odyssey, the author of that.
Oh.
Arthur C. Clarke was born on this date. How about that?
I've never seen 2001.
Billy Gibbons. Didn't he just play here he played at the DNR in Aberdeen.
Did he?
Yeah. Last weekend. ZZ Top fame. I didn't know they broke up. I didn't know they were doing solo shots, but he was doing a solo shot.
He's one of the ones with the beard.
Yes. The only one that doesn't have a beard in ZZ Top is the guy named Beard.
Yeah. Figure that one out.
The drummer. So there was that.
I wouldn't want a beard if I was a drummer. It would be so hot and sweaty.
Oh, man. And Beethoven.
Yeah.
So despite his fame, he had a hearing ailment where he could hardly hear at all, but developed the classical style to its fullest, especially in the sonata, the concerto, and symphony forms.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that he whacked the legs off his piano, so it was right on the floor, and he laid on the floor with his ear pressed to the floor.
To feel the vibrations
feel
of
the different.
Wow.
Because each note would have had a different vibration running through the
I hadn't
floor.
heard that, but that would make sense. You know, your senses are very keen and bolstered up if you are lacking other senses.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. Wow. Also explains why he was laying down and playing the piano.
He was just lazy.
Ludwig, wake up. I'm practicing.
working.
I'm practicing, Mom. Or maybe he just said, what?
What did it say?
I can't hear you. Oh, Dale. Move me on here. Where else are we going on this day?
Star Wars is the most anticipated movie of the last 10 years.
So did we hear anything about the sneak opening? Anybody have any spoiler alerts or
No, I haven't had.
anybody trip on the red carpet going in?
No, nothing like that happened.
Okay.
If you're a Google Chrome user for your web surfing,
yeah,
which we are, there is a plugin that will block all Star Wars spoilers.
That's a good idea in this world.
So
now.
you can't.
Yeah.
So it'll block the content, so you won't get spoiled until you see it at 7:00 Thursday night at Shelton Cinemas or into the weekend.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hi, it's Christy Buck from John L. Scott. Well, the agents and I at John L. Scott Real Estate and Guardian Property Management Services want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays and best wishes for the new year from Karen Shade at Edward Jones. Karen hopes the holiday season and the new year is filled with good friends, good times, good health, and good cheer.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever? Where? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Darren Streblow. Check out my comedy show this Saturday night at 9. But for now, let's get back to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Well, good morning to you. 38 here on KMAS 747, talking about Star Wars, and there's some plugins available to block the content. The other reason we bring it up is because on this day in history, Dale.
Yes, sir.
The other latest, the most, well, is it the most recent? No, there's probably some Avengers or the Guardians of the Galaxy, but one of the most epic. Stephanie was just talking to me yesterday about the overuse
of the word
epic and how people use it in hardly the right context, and just like I just did.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Avatar.
You got us now. Well, you know what? Avatar was epic in the sense that I think it broke new ground. It was unprecedented when it was released, was it not?
2009, worldwide. It went on to eventually gross $2 billion, highest grossing movie of all time.
That's epic.
Okay, good. Epic. So Star Wars,
yes,
will most likely
break that.
I
can't guarantee it, but odds are.
I just don't. I'm trying to think of how quickly hundreds of millions of dollars can be. So it's like in every screen, and then when they do it in those high def, super IMAX 3D, I mean it's like $20 a ticket. Way cheaper at Sheldon Cinemas, by the way.
Fast.
Showing at that place. So I'm gonna, because of the all the new, I'd imagine, new theaters since 2009. With the IMAX and the 3D and whatever, digital laser audio, it will quickly get to $1 billion within a month.
Well, here's my hope. I think I'm pretty confident we're going to see some great special effects and some new characters coming to the surface. What I don't want is some rolled out, no surprises, tromped on script that you know what's going to happen, and it happens just exactly as you think it's going to happen. And the movie ends just the way you think it's going to end, and the character developments are all, everything is just, that was my takeaway from the new James Bond movie. I was disappointed in the plot, disappointed in the writing, the script.
Do you feel that everybody involved phoned it in?
Yeah. I mean, I did. I mean, it had all the elements of all the old James Bonds, but nothing new. No new twists, no new surprises. And I think that's what we
thought it had something to do with his parents or something. I mean, without spoiling it for folks, wasn't that part of the storyline though? So some new insight to Bond's background before he became 007, or did that kind of fizzle?
That kind of fizzled. I don't even recall that being a big part of the storyline.
Well,
so,
I will tell you.
I slept through part of it. But...
I will tell you that the co-writer, so J.J. Abrams, has a lot of pressure, had a lot of pressure.
Jeez.
The co-writer of this new one is the same guy who helped co-write Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Raiders of the Lost Ark,
which I liked.
The other thing is that, and I forgot this, then I remembered it when I watched the movies with Kaiser the other day, and then I forgot it, and then I was reminded again yesterday. But the first three deal with how everything was all hunky-dory, and the Jedi were in control, and then Emperor Palpatine came in and took over the Senate, and then the Sith Lords, and there was a lot of politics.
Yeah.
And then if you remember when Revenge of the Sith finally came out, the final of those, it was right around the time of 9/11 and all this, and George W. Bush, and there was a phrase that Bush had kind of uttered, sort of, And then Luke Skywalker or Anakin, one of the guys said it in the movie. It's like, if you're not with us, you're against us, one of these things.
Yeah.
So everybody was saying, oh, well, now George Lucas is totally political and whatever. So it moves away from the political parts, which in retrospect had to be told so we know how you get to where the story picks up, and more action-y.
Yeah.
We're back to the action of the first movies.
I like that.
And a less of the kind of political
positioning.
Well, I mean, it was just like the debate
posturing.
last night between when Rubio and
Cruz.
Rubio, Paul, and Cruz were all talking, and then Christie pipes and he goes, anybody else? Eyes is glazed over?
Yeah.
And this is how it is every day in the Senate.
Yeah, that was a great line. That was a great line, actually. So
I think it's going to, as people more and more get to see it, and I think it'll probably come out tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Well, billions of dollars will have already been made by the time I get to that movie.
Huge.
So I'm not listening to anything about Star Wars starting tomorrow.
I'm going to put on this block for us.
Okay. Now, you are a Mel Brooks fan. So if I say Perry Air, canned air from Spaceballs, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Very reminiscent to
President Scrooge, he had the canned air.
There is a Canadian company that is selling fresh air to China. China's starved for fresh air, by the way.
Those pictures are amazing.
Many cities in the country choked with pollution. Vitality Air. Brisk business bottling brisk Rocky Mountain air for consumers who miss sniffing the fresh stuff. What? The company began selling its product in China less than 2 months ago, already struggling to keep up with demand. First shipment of 500 bottles, gone, 4 days. Moses Lamb told the Telegraph. Also, notes of an incoming shipment of 4,000 bottles, already spoken for, though it's not even landed in China yet. He said he started the company on a whim after his partner jokingly posted 2 plastic bags filled with air on eBay, only to see the second one sell for $160. Now everybody's going to be back. Remember when we bagged ash?
Yeah.
Bagged air. $16 is what Vitality Air sells for, and they're selling to other countries, including Saudi Arabia and India, though China right now is the biggest market in the world for canned air. Air in a bag or whatever.
Once you open it,
it's gone.
Doesn't the other air interact?
I don't know.
Almost
Jeff.
instantaneously?
I don't know how to use bagged air. I hope it comes with directions.
I mean, if you open it, the air it just gets mixed with the other air.
Diluted as it would.
That would be the word.
Yeah. It's a good point. But it's fresh Rocky Mountain air.
True.
Fresh Rocky Mountain air kicks the butt of regular China air.
Yeah, it does.
Jeez. And they're buying this stuff for $16 a pop.
Oh, wow.
These guys are going to be bajillionaires before
We've got pretty
Christmas
good air
is here.
here, don't we?
Yeah.
Most days.
Let me see. Let me give it the fresh air check.
Well, speaking of Colorado, pot becoming legal in more and more states, some where it's not. Company called Anubis Line of Purses has come into play.
Cannabis what?
Anubis.
Oh.
Drop the C. These purses are made to mask the smell of marijuana. The bags, which come in stylish choices and sizes, from makeup bags to clutches to over the shoulders, are all lined up with a special film that allegedly hides that skunky smell of sensimilia.
Oh.
Or whatever you prefer to blaze up on. Did you hear about the guy who's most likely the #1 draft pick out of college, has a crazy last name with a silent N or a silent K? He smoked some synthetic marijuana and jumped out of a window. He's fine.
He's okay? All right.
And I think, so now the question is, will he get drafted because of this event?
Yes.
But he's big. I mean, he would, he's a game changer. I can't remember his name. It was on.
Well, the answer is yeah. He'll be drafted.
Oh yeah.
They'll overlook that in this world today. Not a big thing.
Plus, it's synthetic. It's not the real.
It's not the real stuff. I wouldn't touch the real stuff, Coach.
Synthetic, on the other hand.
Competitive eater Yuka Kinoshita has documented many of her gastronomic feats on YouTube, and her most recent is no exception. The young Japanese woman just posted a video of her eating 100 slices of white bread in 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I'm a big white bread fan. I know it's very bad for me. I couldn't even begin to even eat bread for 6 minutes, even just on a regular pace. She explains that her eating feats, like when she scarfed down 100 chicken nuggets or 5 pounds of spaghetti, she's got a distinct girl power vibe to those kinds of things. I don't know what that means. She still powers to eat another day. Calling every
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. It's better to give than receive has a nice ring to it, but can it be proven? We'll share some evidence today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across that slippery parking lot, and pushing a row of shopping carts toward the cart corral. It's heartbreaking. Millions of hardworking Americans simply don't have enough money to retire, so they just keep working and working and working until it's too late. Hi, I'm Chad Stubbs, President and CEO of Power Trader, and I believe that's just plain wrong. That's why I'm now distributing to the public absolutely free copies of Power Trader's game-changing book on how regular folks can make the money they need to retire fast. For your free copy, call 1-800-933-1785. Don't let the lack of money rob you of your retirement. Call now for details and get your free copy of this book before it's too late. 1-800-933-1785. But hurry while supplies last. 1-800-933-1785. 1-800-933-1785.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, December 16th, the 350th day of the year. Germany's World War II counteroffensive, the Battle of the Bulge, began on this day in 1944. Researchers studying the psychology of gift-giving say the custom comes with some very complex connotations. And making us think about others and what's important to them, the act of giving can strengthen bonds and social relationships. Opting out of exchanging gifts make the holidays easier, but we may also be shortchanging ourselves, creating isolation from family and weakening social relationships. In other words, the real gift is allowing others the gift of gift giving, or as someone put it more eloquently, it really is the thought that counts. And that is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. You can always learn more online. Just go to almanac.com.
Art Bell has returned to radio with Midnight in the Desert, overnights during the week on KMAS Shelton, AM 1030, FM 103.3, and KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Hope you locked in your rate. The Fed could be hours away from raising interest rates for the first time in years. ABC's Andy Field has a look ahead.
Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen has already said they will likely boost rates at their meeting this week. But Mezro Financial Chief Economist Diane Swak says
it won't be a big move.
She says maybe 1/4 to 1/2 point jump, so it won't shock the markets.
That's also reassuring for consumers because we still got a long way to go to heal.
The Fed announcement arrives this afternoon. Andy Field, ABC News.
This could be the warmest Christmas of your life if you live in the East. El Nino has turned the jet stream into a blowtorch for many eastern regions. Temperature records could melt in Boston, New York, and Washington. Times could be tense at Los Angeles public schools as kids return a day after classes were canceled by an email threat of violence. Extra security is in place. ABC's Matt Gutman says LA is defending its decision to close yesterday, despite New York's dismissal of a similar threat as a hoax.
One of the primary differences between the letter that Los Angeles got and the one that New York City received was that in the LA hoax letter, San Bernardino, the attack there 2 weeks ago, was clearly referenced, and that certainly set off alarm bells here. The New York City one did not mention it. One of the primary reasons that the school district and its police force decided to cancel classes, that decision made within 90 minutes of receiving that email threat.
Amazon is warning its British customers their hoverboards may be a fire hazard since the plug is non-compliant in the UK. The company is urging them to take them to recycling centers. Christmas has come early for Walmart. Walmart shoppers at 2 Cleveland stores, an anonymous Santa paid off their layaway bills, paying over $100,000. Santa says he likes to do something special since it's his birthday. The first major newspaper reviews of Star Wars The Force Awakens are in. The New York Times says it delivers thrills with a touch of humanity. The LA Times says it soars only in certain places, and the Chicago Tribune says the Force is back. This is ABC News.
The gift that keeps on giving is almost always just a metaphor. Open it once, gift over. But at TGI Fridays, we have the gift that actually does keep on giving. For just $10, get any endless app like one of 8 flavors of boneless wings, and we'll keep them coming over and over again. For a bit more, you can switch to another app. Loaded potato skins? Sure. Pan-seared pot stickers? Fine. You can even try them all. We don't care. We're just excited about giving and giving and then giving some more. Endless apps with endless choice are back at TGI Fridays. At participating restaurants for a limited time. While supplies last, other restrictions apply.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Merrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely gonna know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Offers N1716. Offers require not reported and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due at sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Authorities are now searching for the wealthy Texas teen who was sentenced to probation for a drunk driving crash that killed 4 people, claiming his affluent upbringing made him unable to control his behavior. ABC's Rena Ninen tells us a new video surfaced showing him partying.
ABC affiliate WFAA reports that an arrest warrant has been issued for Ethan Couch, the teen who received probation for killing 4 people in a drunk driving crash in 2013. His lawyers argue that the 16-year-old was too spoiled to go to prison in the notorious case known as affluenza. According to WFAA, Couch missed a check-in with his probation officer earlier this month. Court officers searched for the teen but have not been able to find him or his mother. His father claims he doesn't know where either are.
The sentence was 3 months in prison each for 2 Greek businessmen for making remarks that prompted an hour-long evacuation of Copenhagen's airport terminal days after the Paris attacks. A check-in clerk heard one say, "There's a bomb in this bag." Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You are listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint, robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The 5th Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be New Hampshire, Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Hi, Tom Harbin here. Join me 9 to noon on Newsradio 1030 KMAS. If you're afraid of school shootings, fine. Put him near the outer perimeter of the school. Put him in front of the school. Build a little guardhouse or something. Stick him in it. But a cop to deal with discipline problems? It's turning a school into a prison. It's teaching kids how to be afraid of authority figures. It's teaching them, oh, yes, officer, no, officer. Oh, please don't beat the crap out of her. Oh, wow, look at him beat the crap out of her. This is so wrong.
We have some extreme temperatures in our part of the country. I want to tell you about a local company, Arch Mechanical. ARCH, Arch. It's an acronym for Affordable Refrigeration, Cooling, and Heating. But that's not what's important. What's important is how Tom, the problem solver, is able to help solve your heating, cooling, and refrigeration equipment or system problems. Check out archmechanical.com and find out more. archmechanical.com.
A surprise announcement from Badgerland. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports.
It is so emotional right now, and I'm trying to hold this together.
Wisconsin basketball coach Bo Ryan said before the season that this would be his last go-round with the Badgers. But no one expected Coach Bo to make the announcement right after Wisconsin's 64-49 win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi last night, just 7 games into the season.
We talked about different ways of doing this, and time-wise, I know how things get out and how people talk. So this way, we finish out the last game of the semester.
So Bo Ryan leaves the program having done more in 14 years than any other coach in the previous 100. Assistant Greg Gard takes over as interim coach. To the NBA, the Cavaliers slapped the Celtics 89-77 in Boston. LeBron James very happy to have Iman Shumpert back in the lineup.
He just fits our DNA so well. Probably the best hands in the NBA, along with Kawhi Leonard. Defensively, he just plays just very, very good basketball.
James scored 24 points, just like old times in Los Angeles.
Lakers break. Nance has got it. There's a foul and a bucket by Kobe, a three-pointer.
On KSPN, Kobe Bryant led the way with 22 points, and the Lakers' rare laugher over the Bucks 113-95, and Sacramento topped the Rockets 107-97. Baseball outfielder Jason Hayward no longer a free agent, making it official after signing with the Cubs. And now that he's on the north side, there's just one goal.
It'd be a beautiful thing to win a World Series, for one. I'm a baseball player, and that's what I strive to do every year. And to do it in this city, it's a no-brainer that, it would be making history.
Hayward agreed to an 8-year, $184 million deal. NFL news, Peyton Manning is expected to be back on the practice field today for the Broncos for the first time in a month. Quarterback Brock Osweiler makes the start at Pittsburgh. Patriots running back LeGarrette Blount and Ravens defensive end Chris Canty done for the season with injuries. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3. That's it. And KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. Good morning and welcome to your Wednesday morning. FIFA said more than 1 billion people watched the 2014 World Cup final. That's the other football in this world, soccer.
Yeah.
A total of 1.013 billion saw at least 1 minute of Germany's 1-0 win over Argentina in extra time at Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, the site of this summer's Olympics, by the way, Rio. Televisions, viewers at home, people watching in public spaces and online are all counted. 7% uptick in the TV rating that is often seen as the industry's most accurate. And the final had an average in-home global audience of 570 million. It was 531 million in the 2010 World Cup final. 3.2 billion people watched at least 1 minute of one of the 64 matches. The total was the same in 2010. So a lot of attention paid to World Cup activity, and trying to break that viewership record tonight. Jeff and I will be at the Mini Dome tonight on KMAS.com.
We will. And we will.
And we'll be bringing you boys high climber basketball action against Mount Tahoma. This evening will start right before 7 with all the exciting and scintillating play-by-play action for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just keeping you honest. A programming note now, Saturday night, well, Friday night we're going to do it again at the Maid Dome. It'll be the girls. They'll be playing North Kitsap. And then on Saturday night, you'll be busy doing public address for the Ole Town Artisans, but some of us will be enjoying Gonzaga basketball in Seattle, taking on Tennessee. It's the one game a year. It's the battle in Seattle, they call it. And Gonzaga's home match in Seattle against Tennessee starts at 8 o'clock Saturday night. We'll have our coverage beginning at 7:40 on Saturday. So that's, of course, followed up by a whole morning of NFL football action starting at 6:30 Sunday morning with pregame prognosticating and posturing, and then the Seahawks pregame show at 11, kickoff a little after 1 o'clock. By the time it's all said and done, about 9-10 hours of football for everybody, and then Sunday night football after that. So probably more like 14 or 15 hours of all football Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is sports as we know it.
At 8:13, a good morning to you. It's 36 out there right now. Likely to see about a half-inch of rain coming during the overnight into tomorrow, where an additional 1 2/4 inches likely to come down.
It'll be 1.5 inches then, 1 2/4 inches. It'll be 1.5 inches.
What? Yeah, I meant 2/3.
Okay.
A little bit more than 2/4.
I'm busting your chops.
But I think if we added into tonight and tomorrow, all told 2 inches of rain.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to kind of be in the low 40s. And then by the time Christmas Eve comes around on the 24th this year, we are likely to see a little bit of snow, perhaps, and may stick through some of the day. And that's even the lowlands, like 200 feet-ish. So folks above that.
Don't forget the frankincense and myrrh.
And the John Muir.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from where I-5 takes a sharp left toward Portland, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
8:15 here at KMAS. Just kind of going, rehashing yesterday's debate broadcast on the radio. Nice long wall-to-wall coverage from Salem Radio Network.
Long-winded coverage, I can give you that.
It was 7 hours of this, and I was thinking,
yes, sir.
What if they had no crowd?
Well, it would have been bizarre. I think you need to have that audience. Now, it was a partisan audience, to be sure, but I don't know what those hecklers were yelling at Donald about.
I'll see if I can.
He can find out. He had a funny look on his face. I don't know what they were saying. He tried not to respond to that. And then another moment of awkwardness when Cruz didn't know when to stop talking. And they'd already moved to another question to another candidate and told him to go ahead and answer, and he tried to, and through all that process, Cruz was still talking. He didn't know anything about the off button last night. Kind of was awkward a few times, actually. While you're looking at that, are you guys, do you have Christmas music playing? Getting into the holiday spirit, musically speaking, around the Slakey house or in the car or anything like that? Or
as a matter of fact, just last night,
yes,
I had to go pick up our neighbors having some car trouble. On the way home, we went down kind of near Evergreen State College. I says, well, because between 4 and 5:30 when Stephanie gets home, that's when I start running out of ideas for things to play with Kaiser.
To keep him stimulated.
Keep us both stimulated. And so yesterday, I had to go run some errands, and then we went and looked at lights, and sure enough, popped on the classic Christmas playlists, and it's on all the time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's all I listen to these days. Looks like the person was yelling about either money in politics or how Americans don't want more billionaire politicians. American people deserve clean and fair elections, not billionaires. And I think that was about it.
Okay. I did hear something about corporations or something in the background when he was yelling.
Yeah.
Wolf Blitzer did an okay job. You know, it is chaos up there, and you're trying to keep 9 egos in check.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a commendable job. Way better, by the way, than the last time the Republicans had a debate, which was chaos. That was horrible.
What channel? Was that on NBC? It was the one that we couldn't air.
Yeah, it was horrible, that one. Last night wasn't bad. I mean, they did keep things pretty good.
What do you think of so you say you have to have a crowd?
Yeah, I feel like they need a crowd.
And then the bell.
You don't think so?
I'm wondering, because they're looking for those zings.
Right.
To get I noticed that Rand Paul had a smattering of fans, and they were very loud.
Yes.
Anytime he said anything,
it was a cheer.
Woo! And I just wonder how different it would be, because you don't see those kind of like on Meet the Press or whatever, those Sunday talk shows where there's no audience.
Right.
There's not really that kind of zings.
Right. Oh, that's true. It's a good point. There will come will they ever not have
I doubt it.
I mean, there won't be a studio-only debate anywhere in the near future that I can foresee, even between the two parties. No. There won't be So there's going to always be a crowd to play to. Very interesting stuff. Just getting warmed up, kids. You know, the election isn't until next November, so dig in.
Dig in.
Could be a long.
Here's an interesting story. Do you remember the affluenza teen, Ethan Couch from Texas?
No.
All right, so this kid, a couple years ago or something, was drunk, killed 4 people while he was driving drunk, and his defense attorney says, hey, listen, this kid comes from a rich family, and there were never any rules put up to him. He's got affluenza. You shouldn't charge him with the full. Do you remember that?
Oh, man, I do vaguely remember the rich kid.
Part of Couch's defense 2 years ago.
Was that he didn't know any better because he's
product
been
of
coddled
wealthy,
his whole
privileged
life.
parents who never set limits. A psychologist came in. The kid was 6. Oh, the other thing is the kid was 16, drunk, killed 4 people. Only the judge, so prosecutor says 20 years behind bars. This guy killed 4 people, and he's 16 and he's drinking and driving. Bunch of different things. So the judge only gave him 10 years probation.
No jail time.
No jail time.
So how's that working with the 4 families?
Missing from probation check-ins now, the kid is.
Sure. You never had to report to anybody before. Why should I start now?
His PO cannot find him.
Probably one of the families.
Probably at their villa in Cancun or something.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on KMAS. Nonprofits post your events on KMAS.com. Yoga classes are held every Monday and Wednesday evening from 6 to 7:30 at Harmony Hill. Everyone's welcome, regardless of fitness level or experience. Drop-in fee is $12. Call 898-2363 for more info. For KMAS News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
Hi, I'm Don Miner. Just listening to Jeff and Dale on KMAS, the best station in town.
Don didn't know exactly what he was doing there for a second. He was just, listening to it.
Well, he's either listening or watching.
We're looking forward to seeing Don and all the gang out at Alderbrook. Yes, indeed. We've got our, Jiminy Christmas. How many years now? Well, anyway, it is the, what do we call it?
The Mason County Emergency Services Polar Bear Plunge.
Thank you.
Put on by the Hood Canal Kiwanis.
Yes, sirree. And that's how we got Don in the studio to do the recording right there, was talking about that.
February 6th this year.
Yeah, the Saturday before the Super Bowl. Little pre-function out there at Alderbrook. Come on out and join us as Jeff splashes down and we raise money for good causes. It's well attended, a lot of fun. Emergency service workers and volunteers and volunteer fire stations throughout the entire county all benefit from our efforts on that first Saturday of February every year when the water is chilly. Burgers.
It is cold. Oh, I got a new forehead camera.
Did you? Is that like a GoPro, only it's a different deal?
It's like that. It's an off-brand, but it still would work. So we'll be able to go back.
It's waterproof?
Waterproof.
The new camera Jerry got wasn't waterproof?
No, that's it. That was the camera.
Oh, okay. We just got to figure out how to work.
We just need a card, and we're good to go. We'll be able to do another video from.
That'll be fun. First person.
The water. Yeah, little FPS for you.
I read a great article on competitive ice swimming. Now, this is like in Siberia, and you'd imagine the coldest climates on Earth, and that's where these people all go. Jiminy Christmas. So you swim, and I can't recall now, but they're in the water long enough for their bodies to begin to shut down. And the key to winning this thing is how well you can come back from the exposure. You know what I'm saying? Because you're into a surreal state. They have to actually pick you up out of the water and carry you, walk you to a recovery station, and then several of your helpers, handlers, are working on getting your circulation back and getting you back from shutting down. Really a dangerous sport, and it's very popular. And I'll bring you the article and let you read if you want to read about that before you jump into the canal. But I thought about the polar bear plunge when I was reading it, and I'm going, man, I wussed out on just because there's a little bit of ice on the water. These guys said they literally got to break through ice to get.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, or they go, or maybe go under the water.
It's competitive. Yeah, and they got to stay in the water, and they got to go a certain distance, and that isn't the hardest part. And they time that. That's the race. But I guess it's how fast they recover, or I don't know exactly how you win it. But it isn't all just about the swim. But it is about the insanity of jumping in and bringing your body temperature and your core temperature down. And then things happen to your body as it's trying to, warm your extremities and get you back to. And they're playing tricks on their body and minds. And then they got to come back out of that. And so pretty fascinating story, actually. Kept my attention for 7-8 minutes.
Is it going to make me want to jump in the water?
No.
Well, then I don't want to read it.
Okay. All right. What do these people have in common, Jeff?
They have never been in my kitchen.
That is true. Okay. Next topic.
Go ahead.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Ballerina Misty Copeland. Jump in when you know the answer. Fashion designer Donna Karan. Bradley Cooper.
Well, Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper are in Joy, which comes out Christmas Day.
Good guess. Wrong guess. Ronda Rousey.
Barbara Walters, most interesting people of the year.
Yes. Bernie Sanders. Tracy Morgan. Now, that's only 7. I don't know who the other 3 are.
Well, it's a secret, so you tune in.
Oh, good marketing.
It is.
Yeah. Plus the fact that Barbara Walters hasn't been alive for 4 years. I'm just teasing.
Did you say Trump?
No, Trump isn't on the list. Bernie's the only politician on the list.
I think Trump is part of it. I saw now Barbara and Trump had a sit down last week
Did they?
But I swear I saw a preview for her special upcoming, and it was a picture of him.
Well, it's very likely because it's the 10 most fascinating people of 2015. He has to be considered. If Bernie's being considered, wouldn't Donald be considered?
Nobody even knows who Bernie is.
Well, they do now.
Watch TV. If you watch TV, you don't know who he is.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, that's exciting. Those are fun shows.
Yeah, and always, she does have a certain way of being able to extrapolate some personal information from each of the guests, and they know that this is a big deal, and so it is this kind of a little medal of honor, or an acknowledgement that you've made it. You're on the Barbara Walters special every year.
Yeah, that
pretty
does
cool.
mean you are pretty darn good.
Yeah, it means pretty much that everybody knows who you are. Pretty cool stuff.
Leo has survived a shark attack, a skydiving accident, a near plane crash.
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Oh.
He says if a cat has 9 lives, I think
7.
I've used some of those too. That Remnant movie is coming out.
Yes, I see a lot of previews about that now. It looks good. Looks intense.
On the phone from Edward Jones.
The old grizzly wrestler herself.
Karen,
that would be so me. Yes.
What was your wrestling name back in the day?
Oh, I didn't have a wrestling name.
Karen.
I actually was a wrestlerette, so I was a cheerleader for the wrestling team. But
A wrestlerette.
Wrestlerette, yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, not a mat maid, wrestlerette. That was it. I was
Break
bad at
their arms.
Yeah, what were the chants in wrestling?
Pin him.
Pin him.
Oh, okay.
Take down.
Right, yeah.
All right,
That's
very
the only
good.
one I can remember. Sorry.
That's about all there was to that. So, we called them mat maids.
Oh, jeez, you can't. I don't think you can do that now.
I can't do that now anymore.
No,
Mat maids. Are you kidding me? Is that real?
No. Yeah.
Do you remember that, where you called them mat maid?
No, we were always, we were wrestlerettes.
Wrestlerettes.
Yeah,
But no, that was before ladies wrestled for real?
Yes, it was.
Because now they got a ladies wrestling team.
Yeah, my cousin used to coach it down in Longview High School.
There you go.
I coach for him.
See?
That's the home of the Highlanders.
Highlanders. There's the High Climbers and the Highlanders. Those are the only 2 high schools that use high as mascots.
Really? Well, there you go. There's your trivia for the day.
Wow. There it is. That and wrestlerettes.
Yeah.
Okay. How's Wall Street doing this morning?
Well, U.S. stocks are gaining for a third day as investors await the Federal Reserve's decision this afternoon on whether it will raise benchmark interest rates for the first time in 9 years. In economic news, mortgage applications fell last week, while housing starts and building permits grew more than expected in November. In a separate report, industrial production declined last month. Treasuries are mostly lower this morning amid anticipation that the Fed will raise interest rates for the first time in nearly a decade. So far this morning, the S&P 500, the best performing sector is utilities, while the worst performing sector is energies. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 27 points at 17,552. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is up 8 points at 2,051. And the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 11 points at 5,007. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 220 million shares being traded, and advances are outnumbering decliners by roughly 2-to-1 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $14.29 to $1,075.50. The spot price of silver is up 41 cents to $14.20, and crude oil prices are down $1.36 to $35.99. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3.02%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is currently 2.3%. Stocks of local interest: Amazon is up $5.30, Costco is up 20 cents, Boeing is up a quarter, Starbucks is up 4 cents, and Microsoft is up 12 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton. And if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590. And daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You are listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. At Monday's City of Shelton Commission meeting, Dave O'Leary presented a plan for the next city administrator. O'Leary stated he thought it was not appropriate for him to help select the next city administrator. However, he can help in the selection process. O'Leary gave a brief rundown of the steps that would be required to select the next administrator, saying it was appropriate to begin the search now, as the timeline for completing the plan will take months. The commission approved the plan. Commissioner Olson reiterated he felt the process should be public, much the same as used to recruit and hire the police chief and the director of public works. Is Mason County in the middle of an illicit drug-fueled crime wave? One concerned citizen believes so, and Pat Burke says he thinks he knows why more isn't being done about it.
We have to start finding a way to arrest when they commit crimes, hold and prosecute these people for the crimes that they commit. And I've heard the Mason County Sheriff himself say that he thinks he needs something in the order of about 100 beds, additional beds to what they have now, to really start cracking down on the crime out here.
Burke says he's proposed the idea of using some vacant land for a temporary retention center, using creative measures like shipping containers converted into livable space. Burke told Daybreak he's particularly concerned about activity going on at areas around his home and business near Golden Pheasant.
I just can't see. I think that the crime out here is starting to just about affect everybody. Who hasn't had a chainsaw stolen or a door kicked in anymore out here? It's really getting to where it's pervasive. And the thing that I'm concerned is if we don't do something about it pretty soon, it's going to start, maybe we're going to start seeing some regular home invasions where people are held at gunpoint, robbed or assaulted.
Burke is asking other concerned citizens of Mason County to speak up to the commission, either in person, at their meetings, or by writing them a letter. The fifth Republican presidential debate in Las Vegas was broadcast live on KMAS yesterday. Some of the candidates went after frontrunner Donald Trump over his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., including former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Florida Senator Marco Rubio also clashed over immigration reform and how to attack ISIS. The Democratic presidential debate will be this Saturday. The debate will take place in Manchester, New Hampshire, at St. Anselm College. This will be the third debate with Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. ABC will be sponsoring the debate, and the moderators are World News Tonight anchor David Muir and Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz. Listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 103.3, or online at KMAS.com starting at 5 p.m. Saturday. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Ascend Roofing Company in Shelton's on top of it. 868-2730. Roofing work that speaks for itself.
Hey, just a little note to say thank you for the outstanding work that you, Dennis, and especially Jorge and the crew performed for us on our roofing project. On a scale of 1 to 10, we rate it at 10.5. It was a fantastic feeling from start to finish. Your company is a first-class operation and will definitely give your name to all of our friends and family if they're in need of your services.
You could be the next happy customer by calling Ascend Roofing. 868-2730.
Debt is dumb. Dave Ramsey tells you why. Question comes from Dave in California. He says, is there ever a time when someone might be able to graduate from a cash-only system to the limited use of a credit card? I don't think that would be graduating. I think that would be being put back a grade. I don't know why you would graduate to stupidity. So why is it graduating to have the opportunity to go into debt? It's not graduating. Step back. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 here on KMAS.
I want to thank KMAS for his support.
Way to support the team, man.
Yeah. For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and we are doing audio and video this morning. Thanks for tuning in, KMAS.com, and on Facebook at KMAS/1030. Wait a minute, Facebook/1030 KMAS. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's where you'll find high school basketball this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are presenting a video stream of the high climbers taking on Mount Tahoma.
supposed to find out who that was.
And we begin our coverage just before 7 o'clock this evening from the Mini Dome. We'll remind you, too, there is a Christmas concert going on over at the Performing Arts Center this evening at the same time. So there'll be plenty of activity going on campus this evening. I love that. Just a busy time of the season.
For sure.
So there's that going on. And then this Friday night, we also return to the Mini Dome for the girls in action again. And this time their opponent is North Kitsap. So we'll do some research and get the stage set for that one on Friday night. Saturday night, Gonzaga basketball for you as they are in Seattle for their battle against the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee coming all the way out to Seattle.
They've got to be happy that they're not heading
out to Spokane. I think that probably is it's kind of one of those, well, the bad news is we're going to the West Coast. The good news is we're landing in Seattle and not Spokane.
So would they have flown into Spokane or flown to Seattle?
I think there's some flights that they could have, there's some national flights that fly straight into Spokane. It's hard to say.
And those they're not like 747s. They're smaller planes.
Basketball team and entourage, they might have a big plane.
That's I have to find that. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
How do they travel?
Yeah. So that's our sports docket for you. Of course, not to mention Seattle Seahawks football for you on Sunday. Now we have our NFL Today and the preview show, Boomer Esiason and all those guys talking at 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. So you're getting ready for church or whatever you're doing on Sunday morning, finishing Saturday night. I'm not sure. But and it's none of my business, really. But we do have football talk for you starting at 6:30 in the morning all the way to 11 when we begin our pregame activities for the Seahawks coming down the pike at you for a kickoff at 1. So lots of football coming your way and basketball. A lot of sports, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this is a sports report, so this would have been the appropriate time.
Perfect.
To let people know about all that. And last night, River Ridge with a 77-71 win over White River. What's their mascot?
The Amphitheaters.
I do know that Enumclaw are the Hornets.
Mount Tahoma is the Thunderbirds.
Yes. We went through this at football season, but I can never retain it.
Yeah. And if it's Thunderbird?
I've prided myself on remembering mascots.
THS.
Speaking of Thunderbirds,
we gotta get this forecast in. We got some
cookies,
dudes coming by with some delicious. We got treats for you guys. They're good too. 35 right now here in Shelton, and a good morning to you. 0.4 of an inch of rain tonight. 1.7 tomorrow. 1/4 inch on Friday, and we are looking like lots of rain over the next 10 days. Then we get to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I'm not saying it's outside of the realm of possibility that we have a white Christmas this year.
Yeah. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Interesting. Relevant for us to talk about.
Yeah, that's a clever. All right, good morning to you. It's 8:40 here.
Anytime Dick Taylor learns anything,
that's a great,
like a new word. I
didn't know that's what
it's
that
important
says.
to share with us.
We were just talking about Leo DiCaprio. He's been in a lot of stunts in his movies, and he does a lot of fun on The Revenant is a new movie coming out, and you know what that means?
Yeah, it's a person who returns from the dead.
And I think, isn't that the story about that? They leave him for dead.
Yeah.
That movie looks intense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
I had to look it up. I saw the ad on TV.
I didn't even know if it was a word. I just thought maybe it was, I don't know what I thought.
Yeah, something interesting. Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It's 8:40, and it's time for Port of Call here. We are diving deep, and you had a court meeting yesterday, and said goodbye to Tom Wallentner, Commissioner Wallentner. 1 term, 2 terms for?
Well, yeah.
It was
no,
1 term.
6 years.
It was a 6 year.
One 6 year, last 6 year term of the
6 year term.
Okay, yeah.
6 year term.
See, I knew it was longer than 4, but I don't remember him running more than just the one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That answers that. Now he's off to the next chapter.
Next adventure.
Yes, next adventure.
Yep.
That's exactly right. Watching his Christmas trees grow.
But left the port in some good stead. I mean, you guys year over year, I mean, every time you come in, got great news, and I'm sure.
Yeah,
today
we got a little news today too.
Break it on us.
Look at they're
Where do you
busted.
wanna
They're
start?
busted.
They got lots of
Give
news.
them the hard numbers on the
Okay,
on the body counts.
Yeah, what was that date?
This was 4 years ago.
Okay, 4 years ago we had 328 tenants on the port. Employees employed at the
320.
328 with 23 companies.
Full and part-time.
Okay.
Okay.
As of now, we have 785 employees on the port and 32 companies. And it's expected to grow again in the early part of next year.
So you've doubled.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
In 4 years.
Wow.
That's pretty good testament to Tom Wallner's participation.
Sure.
in what
You
we
bet
were
it
doing.
is. Absolutely true. Well, congratulations to all of you, actually.
It's good stuff.
And
Good
people
stuff.
kind of like to, if it wasn't for cannabis, then you guys wouldn't be doing nothing. But that's not really necessarily the
No,
case.
that's only one company.
You had those incubator buildings, and you had them full, and you've been remodeling and doing and moving and shifting and recruiting.
Yeah.
A lot of work has been gone into where you are today, and you're to be commended on it. Absolutely, all 3 of you.
It's
4 of you.
wow.
Anyway,
Go back to the
3
commission.
commissioners, and
The commission sets the policy. I just operate.
see what can happen when they all get along.
Do you have any numbers on the ripple of that effect? I mean, that has to then include jobs off port property that people will need to fill. for that kind of
Restaurants.
stuff.
sure, restaurants, gas stations,
I mean, that's
grocery
just
stores.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think the one number that really sticks in my mind is if you go to the WASDOT Aviation Division's website and you look at the airport, then of course most of these companies are on our airport property. But if you look at the gross business income that we touch annually, it's over $40 million. So, and that's to the community. So it's huge. It really is a testament to Sanderson Field and its capabilities and what it could be if we could open it up. And that's what we're doing.
And did you have a projection there for the next 4?
We're not going to say, but it's going to be more.
Okay. All right. Well,
We're shooting for 1,000
okay.
employees out there.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. You got my blessing. Go.
Well, thank you.
Get busy.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Hanging
Get
around
on
here.
it, right? Yeah. Well, the other thing.
This is where busy comes to die, right here.
Talking about the airport.
Yeah.
We've got some new happenings there, and I'm going to have John explain it because it has to do with airplanes. And I don't
If
know
you fly in airplanes, one of the things that you want to make sure of is when you're going in and out of an airport is that you have all weather conditions. So you can fly in the clouds and yet you can still fly home and get home. And one of the biggest challenges when I first got here to Shelton, to Sanderson Field, was the fact that all we had was this old World War II style military approach. It's called an NDB approach, non-directional radio beacon. And the simple version of it is when you're flying around in the clouds, you finally are looking for the airport and you can only go down to 600 feet above the ground. That's the lowest you could go. And if you didn't see the airport, then you go fly someplace else and find another airport. And over the years, we've been requesting an additional different types of approaches. And so finally, the FAA gave us what they call a GPS approach, and it's called LPV, means lateral position with vertical guidance. But the short version of that is we were now able to drive down to 392 feet. The problem with that is that the cloud base usually sits around 350 feet. So you still can't find the airport. And yesterday or day before yesterday, they gave us the newer upgraded version of that. So we're now down to 250 feet. And
wow.
I will be handing this off to our Sierra Pacific folk and their 3 corporate jet drivers, if you will, and we should start seeing them here on a regular basis now.
That is terrific news. Yeah, 250 feet is you're down there now.
You can finally start to get home.
Yeah, and should be able to find your airport there.
So hopefully we'll start to encourage, over the next 5 to 10 years, we'll start seeing more corporate jets coming in and out here. That's the main thing.
And hopefully that's all associated with more corporate people and corporations. Yes.
There's usually a corporation that owns that corporate jet.
Yes. I like the sound of that. That seems to make some great sense right there.
It finally opens it up. But then I'll let Dick talk about this. The next thing. This is official now. We've kind of teased this over the years.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about the marina and the waterfront development.
Yes.
Well, we got the grants.
Oh, good.
Well, you did get the grants. Okay.
Yes. There's a whole team of folks. There's South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement Group, Mason Conservation. There is Simpson Timber Company, obviously the port, and of course Squaxin Tribe is involved in all of this.
Okay.
So the money has
the official title. What do you got across the top there, so people know what
West Oakland Bay Restoration and Conservation.
Okay.
So the simple version of this is when you look at where the marina is at, and you look at the rail line that goes out there, and everything in between, all of that water is all going to be completely restored back to a natural habitat.
All right. So, very good. Big news.
Big news.
Big news.
Big news.
Yeah.
Multi-million-dollar project in the end.
You know, and what is really outstanding about this is the quickness with which nature responds to that. When you return it back to that kind of a condition, boom, instant wildlife, fish, everything.
Good point.
And to me, the big thing for us to look at is not only the project itself, but the coalition of people that have been put together to do this. Very diverse group. You know, with industry and conservationists and the tribe.
Everybody has a stake.
We all have a stake.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
And it's coming together.
That's exciting.
And it really
exciting.
is exciting to think about.
So 5-10 years from now, we're looking out, we're at the marina, and I says to myself, I want to go downtown, continue on into downtown and find a bite to eat. Trails,
all of
beautiful walkways right along the water.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's been quite a group of people, and Chamber of Commerce has been behind this. Heidi and her group, of course, you know, in a visioning process. And I mean, there have been visioning processes over the years, you know, and they come and go, and it's, you know, every 5 years we'll do another one, but I think finally some of this is going to start taking some root, and especially when we start seeing the material that's coming in to do the backfill, and then when the seagrasses start coming in, the port does have in mind a trail that will work directly from the marina, will go underneath the rail line and along 3rd, and then come back over onto Front Avenue and across Front. And then there's some ways to get back over to Eagle Point. Eagle Point will be sold into Conservancy sometime in probably the 3rd quarter of 16. And eventually the city will take that over. That will eventually become a park. So if you can connect the 2 points, in effect, you have the, I call them anchor points, you know, for the downtown core area to start looking at and start thinking about doing some development. I know that the city is looking at the roundabout for the rail, the train that's down, and so there's some thought about maybe working that into a piece of a museum.
Timber museum,
right? So bring that trail around the front of all of that, and bring it along Front, and then over the tracks to the museum, if you will.
Right.
But then back out and continue on down and over the main bridge, and then work your way out to Eagle Point. So if nothing else, there's a focus point. There's a focal
Well, yeah, and then there's a way to coexist with industry and with tourism, with conservancy, and with development of the town. Yeah.
Sierra Pacific's plan, of course, which I think it's public. I want to be careful about this.
Now.
You know, with their mill site, et cetera. And then the you know, one portion of that is going to be in stormwater infiltration on the the south side of the tracks, and that's going to be their entry point for the trucks coming in, so it's not going to be coming down railroads. So there's lots of opportunity for our business leaders to get together and really decide what they want to see in downtown Shelton. So I think there's a real opportunity. There's a real starter set that's beginning to grow here.
We're finding a lot of cooperation amongst everybody right now. We need to seize that. I wanted to ask you, keeping in line with that thought, I just met with a representative, the editor over at the newspaper, about that. Talk about mending fences.
No comment.
Whoa, yeah.
And Brad from the Mason Transit system facilitated the meeting. And so talking about the visioning and not only that, but just how do we improve the mood?
what can we do to be more positive as a community, as a county, as an entity?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we get involved in this? Who can be our leaders? Who can we look to drive to get one thing started to change? This might be the thing that'll maybe jumpstart all that. But
I think there's about 3 or 4 different initiatives that are out there right now that I'm kind of excited about. Obviously, with what the port, and we didn't get this started. I mean, we had some thoughts about how we wanted to see the marina done, and the next thing we know, it's a whole bunch of other groups are getting involved with it. But it's about how you seize the opportunities. And Lynn Longan is working from EDC.
Right.
Is working on. There was an old thing we used to call the SEDS list, and I don't ask me what that stands for, Dick. You might remember whatever.
It's an ancient history.
Yeah, it's it was. I'll use my language, hogs at the trough. Everybody had a project and you throw it on this list. And if it wasn't on the list, you weren't going to get funded, but nobody ever got funded anyway. So it's one of those.
And you moved around.
An appropriate term for it then. Yeah.
But we're finally getting, a good core group together to say, all right, we have all of these various entities. Which projects do we want to really do? Which ones do we want to prioritize? How do we want to prioritize it? There is oftentimes money that comes out of state and federal agencies that's there, and you get 1 or 2 folks that kind of know the system and they get a few crumbs here and there, but there's never really any big push that says this community wants this project first.
Right.
And I think we're finally starting to see that develop.
And that's where we need to get to.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And we will see improvement.
And what's nice about this group, I mean, it was the Port of Allen, obviously Port of Shelton, Grapeview, all of the folks that are part of the county are at the table, and we're all saying the same thing. How do we get these things prior? Yeah, sure, I've got my little pet project. I know you got your pet project, but what really will benefit this community most?
What's the first thing?
There you go.
And get that accomplished.
If you only got $1, where do you want to spend
it? And then the next thing, and then the next thing. But you've got to get something started. You got to make a difference. You got to make a step.
Yes.
And that's what we were frustrated talking about the history. Mm-hmm. A lot of talking, not a lot of doing.
Yes.
Exactly.
And a lot of planning, but no initiating. And so this is the time now. And maybe a blessing in disguise for the mill closure, because now we have a story. Mm-hmm. We can use some help. We can use some grants. But guess what? We've got a plan.
Yeah.
We're ready for this now.
And we've already started it.
Yeah. And this is an amazing, this is going to be an amazing look and a change to that whole waterfront area. Man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, fellas.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're just a part of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Congratulations to everybody, all the entities.
Yes.
Yes.
All the folks that are involved in that. Wow. Okay. That's a good way to end the year, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you back next week? It's Christmas. It's the 23rd.
What's today? The 16th?
23rd. Yeah,
23rd?
We could stop in.
We'll stop in, say hello. We got some more things to talk about.
Wish everybody a happy holiday, and
yeah.
Bring my Christmas present with you.
Yeah, we'll bring a gift for sure. We'll definitely bring that.
All right. I think we'll have Greg Linder and Dwayne Wilson in that morning as well, talking about the going on.
Cool.
So it's a good way to wrap up the show, and you guys stay out of trouble.
No.
No.
Life is not fun if you stay out of trouble.
And no flying under 250 feet.
That's correct.
Okay, unless you're landing.
Unless you're landing.
Okay.
Unless you see the airport.
Unless you see the airport. Otherwise, keep on going.
That's right.
That's very good. All right, that'll do it, huh?
Yeah, that does it for us, and I think that pretty much does it for us as well. So we'll be back tomorrow on a overall sense.
Okay. All right. So we're leaving with these guys.
We're out of here. We're all going to hang out together.
Yeah. Jerry's waiting to scold us all.
It's 8:56. Have a great rest of your day. Tom Hartman today. Remember, KMAS.com live basketball.
Tonight, 7 o'clock. See you online.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Greetings of the season from the folks at Columbia Bank. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Best wishes from Columbia Bank.
At this special time of the year, a special message from your friends at Bone In and Cook. May the miracle of Christmas bring thoughts of joy and peace. Happy holidays and best wishes for the new year from Bone In and Cook.
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 1033.